The opinions expressed on the radio program by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're back. This is In My Opinion, live on Genesis Radio.
I always drop this. I'm sorry, friend.
Yep, great.
Yes.
Live on Genesis Radio.
And you are
Victoria Paris, and I'm here with
Amazing Amy. And this is In My Opinion.
In My Opinion.
Yes, y'all bear with us because,
It's Tuesday.
it's Tuesday. It's Monday, Junior. We still be coming off the weekend. We're not sharp as whistles. Like, catch me on Thursday, I'm ready to go. I'm running a marathon on Thursday. But on Tuesday, still waking up, still taking it easy. But it is a beautiful Tuesday.
Yeah,
Out
today
here in
was
the
a
Pocono
Monday.
Mountains.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful.
I feel it coming. That's me to summer. Like, I cannot wait.
Amen. Oh, what's been your thing?
We are so back, baby. We are so back. Okay.
I love it.
Sun is shining. Energy is good. People are smiling again.
I'm smiling again.
Yeah, I definitely have that too.
I'm glowing again.
Yeah. Period. Yes, we have.
I'm
We got a couple more months for that. But yeah, we're right there. It's feeling good.
I just caught that.
Yeah, we got a couple months, but we are here and we're feeling good. How are you feeling today? Quick vibe check.
Quick vibe check. Today was a Monday, Junior, as far as work. Real hectic. Real hectic.
What are we gonna do, right? Because in this economy, you have no other choice.
I'm just
That's what you gotta do.
4:30. I said I made it through.
That's it.
But also right now I'm feeling amazing. I'm glad that we're here,
Same.
and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
Love that for you.
Amen. How
Same
you
here.
feeling?
Feeling great. No complaints. Like the weather, the sun is all I need. I've been waking up
That
at
vitamin D.
sunrise. I've been hearing the birds. I'm like, is that you? Yes. So I'm feeling good. All
Spring
is
is at
well.
you.
I got motivation to get my summer body more together. So now I got reason to get up, go harder at the gym. So there's just so many good things about warm weather. And I have no complaints.
Amen.
So
Talking about summer body, like the one thing I like to work out outside. I like to go for a little run.
yeah, a little walk.
And
We talk
like,
about this all the time.
Yeah.
Wow. We just want a little sidewalk, a little to the
Mhm.
store and back, something.
Because no
but-
shade, PF be a little gloomy. It
Yeah.
don't be like bright lights in there.
Especially, wait, where? Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
with PF. We got one gym over here, so if it ain't that one, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know.
But the gym in general is just not the same vibe,
It's not.
We go there for the sake of it, but it's not the same as taking a nice little hike through the woods.
You love a
I
hike.
can't wait. I love a hike.
But invite me
I just
on your
love a
first
long
one.
walk.
Invite me on your first one.
Absolutely. And it's right by my house too, so
Oh,
we
lit.
gotta go a little 5-minute drive. We gotta drive to the hike around here. But
Can't hike to the hike. Gotta
But-
drive to the workout.
yeah,
I'm
no
appreciating the
complaints
day
about the
though.
weather.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely not.
appreciating the day. 150%.
Mhm.
Loving it here. So yeah.
So all things considered, great Tuesday overall. Today, what we got for the people today?
We talking about people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. We're
It's
talking
always-
about stuff everyone can relate to.
Yeah, it's always a little constructive, always a little constructive tea, We're gonna talk a little mess, but also give you something to go home with, something to think about.
Yeah, something that probably is on everyone's mind anyway. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Relationships is.
So let's get into our first trending topic.
Ooh,
Just the pop culture of it all. What's in the news, what's on the Twitter.
we love a good pop culture moment.
Yeah, especially when it's a little messy, when it's not your own mess. I mean, I would never put my mess on the internet, but the celebrities love to do that for some reason. And like, what are we gonna do but talk about it? Like, you're not giving us
They
much
know.
choice.
At this point, you know. If you're
Yeah.
a celebrity in this day and age, you know that anything that you put on the internet is going to be
It's subject
talked about.
to a podcast. Sorry. So
No shade.
in the latest celebrity relationship mess, we was talking about Cardi and Offset last week.
Oh yeah.
This week, yeah, I haven't seen or heard anything about it since, and I'm
Me
not
neither.
mad about it.
I'm glad about it.
You know,
My purpose.
sometimes it gets to be like, okay, enough is enough. But this week we got Halle Bailey, you know,
And the dumb
America's quote unquote sweetheart, our first Black Little Mermaid,
our
and
only Black Little Mermaid.
the dumb. What you about to call him?
I don't know. I was trying to come up with a good word for
We
G.
need something for the G. A dumb guy.
The
The dumb guy. Yes.
The dumb guy.
Halle and the dumb guy have the dumb guy, DDG, have been on the interwebs because they've been putting their business out there. Well, he's been putting their business out there.
As per usual.
Yeah, it's been him for the most part. When we
I
do
think she
hear
had one
about,
slip up, but it's him.
yeah, I was gonna say for the most part, when we hear about her unassociated, it's generally positive. But when we hear about him, we never not hear about her, and that's something to talk about.
To clock that.
But overall, they've been in a relationship for what, 2-3 years now, maybe a little bit longer. Let's say 3 years at maximum,
Yeah.
maybe 3.5 or so. They're young. We were just talking about this earlier, and we didn't realize how young they
How
were.
young, yeah.
She's 24 years old. They just had a child together. He's probably like 18 months old. They had a first birthday.
Yeah.
I don't keep up too much, but they were a young couple. They had a kid, and now they're beefing on the
January
internet.
2022, they started.
What's that? Okay, so, but they broke up last year in 2024, right after the baby
Right after
was
the baby
born,
was
before
born.
the baby turned 1. So, our sources are wicked. You know, when Judge Judy, she got the little ladies that do the
I
search.
love that for her.
But
December
yes.
2023, Halo was born. So they
broke up a year
right
before
after
Halo turned 1 year old.
that. Yeah. Which is
So
sad.
that didn't last. But there's some things to be dissected there. If we're gonna start with where we're at as of this weekend, he was on the internet talking, lying, saying that he doesn't get to see his kid and he can't be involved in his kid's life. Which is just blatant lies, but
Clearly
also
see him with his kid.
yes, there's evidence to support otherwise.
Right.
Like, and people were going deeper into this, like, if you were really so pressed about wanting to see your child and it was such an issue, you would go to court. But he can't go to court because his digital footprint is going to work against him. He's a streamer. If y'all know who DDG is, most people don't. You only know him as Halle's baby daddy. And he hates that. He hates that. I'm sorry. But he's doing that thing that guys do when they start to hate you. When they start to see that you're outshining them, they try to tarnish your name.
I think so that's what he's on right now. Really, is setting him off is how quiet she's been. Because remember when they first broke up, he went on all these interviews, whatever, and like she's still quiet and she's only posting about things that benefit her and her baby. And I think it's sending him up a wall.
And there's multiple reasons for that. One, because I think she knows better at this point. I think she knows who she's dealing with, and she's just like, I'd rather not do that to myself. Also, I think because she has a better image to maintain. We were talking about this earlier, and in my personal opinion, I was confused about their relationship to begin with. Not because I know them personally,
but I feel like
just from the
general
looking
public
in.
was. Like, I feel like that was
it didn't make sense.
The
like,
theme.
how did this happen? Why did this happen? And I was saying to you, it's either that he's a super great guy behind closed doors that we don't know, or his money's so wrong, his schlong so wrong. I don't know what it is, but it's something about that man and she's staying over there. It was either that or it was she ain't known better at the time. She got bamboozled.
That was my theory. Like, she just was young and didn't know any better. And there was an interview that, Twitter, they find everything. Where she said that she had been crushing on him, like, before, I guess, like, before their fames. Like, she had always had a crush on him because, remember, he's been a streamer for a while.
And we're going to talk about the whole sheltered Black girl bad relationship pipeline. Because in recent times, she's not the only young Black lady we've seen to fall victim to the bad baby daddy trope. Like,
and we see people in our personal life too. You know,
true.
like you
Yeah,
know
who,
ones
yeah,
who
it's
is their
true.
first and they go all in and go all out and you know it's just.
It's just not what they expected to be because they weren't
And we
prepared.
usually all learn that lesson at some point, right? But it just depends on how far you got to go to learn the lesson. So
let's get into it from the beginning. Their relationship was confusing from jump because we thought Hallie was supposed to be like, you know, I like I said, America's sweetheart. Shortly after their announcement of their relationship, she became the first Black Little Mermaid. When her and her sister first came out, they were Beyonce's proteges, and so everyone put them in a certain caliber.
Yeah.
So her relationship with DDG, Mr. Unknown Underground Rapper, Mr. Twitch Streamer, was, excuse me, what? But okay, Hallie.
It was like,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly what you just did.
It was just like, oh,
when when dogs turn their head and go,
yeah, it was like
that.
Because I didn't know, I like heard of DDG, but like I look, even I just said the name, but I didn't know, like,
yeah, we weren't. He wasn't
coming up on my timeline.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like I've
time.
heard him. Yeah.
He wasn't. He had fans. We're not discrediting him. We're not saying nobody knew who he was. We're saying that he wasn't well known. Like she was.
Like she was well known at all.
However, they stayed together.
And he's attested to that, so
yeah,
he knows that.
But I think that started to bother him after a while, and so it was the whole impregnate her, trap her, lock her down, because men be trapping women too. But I don't know. There's so many.
I digress.
You got something to say? We got TP in the room as well. Who will be chiming in with us because he got something to say, some things to say. TP, please at any point feel free to school us on what we don't know, but we're talking about what the young kids is doing right now. So
y'all just flipped the baby lock.
They ain't this a mess.
You just flipped the baby lock.
Flip the baby lock.
Women use the baby lock. Men don't use the baby lock.
I don't think that's true.
A lock worked for whoever's using it.
Yeah.
A lock works for whoever is using it. Or you need to do have to do is put it in your hand and click it.
Men don't generally try to get child support.
But he's trying to get child support. Let's talk about that.
And so it's Offset.
This little boy.
That's two of them right there.
Is trying to get child support from this young lady who can afford child support, but shouldn't be on child support given their situation. But anyway, he's being a bitter baby mama. Yeah. Just like Offset is.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely.
So you can't say that men don't use the baby lock. They use whatever lock works. Okay. So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's a combination lock, a lock and key. What type of locks is there? A deadbolt.
You know?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, men definitely trap women 100%. And
in different ways, but
social media went crazy when they found out she was pregnant and had all of these think pieces and all of these theories, which obviously you don't know someone's life. So, but a lot of it is coming to fruition right now. You know what I'm saying? Like how everyone's saying he's jealous of her. He's trying to impregnate her at the height of her career. He gets online and embarrasses her while she's pregnant and carrying his child.
Right.
And all of these things. And
this goes back to the thing of like, if this is what he's doing in public, what do y'all think he's doing in private? You think it's better in private? You think he's on the internet being his best self? He probably is. But if this is his best self.
I was just gonna say that, yeah. That's his best self.
It's not good. So it's just not looking good on his part.
And also too, like the difference of like the question mark, like the because like he does come from a social like what he does, you need clout to do it. You need attention to do it, right? He streams. You need attention to do it.
His content doesn't have to be his baby mama and there's some personal.
No, that's not even what I'm saying. I'm just saying he's a person who goes out of his way. That's why like he does the post. Like she didn't come from needing to post all of these wild things. She was just posting, singing videos and did her thing. He like
she was living her life, but his life is content. Like exactly. He doesn't have anything else going on except what's going on with me and Hallie and the baby.
Which is why you could expect that. Not expect that, but you could kind of expect this from him because he is a social media person. Like that's all he knows. You know what I'm saying? Is to get online and do attention grab.
We see these guys making a fool of themselves all the time, not even just in the relationship aspect, but who's the one that just got banned from whatever because he went into the store harassing this woman.
Whoa, I didn't hear about that.
I forget what he asked her, like, oh, I would so right now.
I seen it on Target
right now.
And then the brother came up and
I was like, yo, bro, you good? Like, tried to confront him.
Deshae.
Yeah, he was with the other girl.
He came.
Yeah, but
yeah,
those streamers, they don't live in reality to a certain extent. They don't live here, and they get a little delusional about what the rules are and what's allowed. Right. I think because they see somebody else might have gotten away with it online, they think they could do that, or they think they could push that boundary and see how far they can get away with for getting views and likes. But there's limits
and attention or trying to, because let's be honest, you getting online to say that you're not seeing your kid was just, you were trying to garner sympathy, garner attention, because like everyone is saying. And also I put this into play in my villain era. Whenever I see a guy posting about how his baby mama don't let his child see his kid, I make it a point to comment and laugh. I make it a point to do that, right? Because
you further, like, why?
I'm gonna laugh at you because as a grown man, if it's that important to you, social media should not be your first avenue.
Because it's America, right? So I definitely commented back on his tweet about, I forget what he said about, feeling better now. I was down for a little bit, but I'm feeling better. Like, sir, I said, you can literally afford a therapist, but instead you want to come on the internet and talk bad about the mother of your children or the mother of your child. It's clearly your feelings are so hurt. So
like, come on. You got the money, the resources, and everything to go get your child.
Avenue to take, putting your business out there.
And
for
then
the world
let's talk about the fact that she exposes the fact that her and the baby are sick with RSV. They're not doing well. They haven't been doing well for weeks. So you're trying to push this narrative that she's just not letting you see your kid, but they're homesick and shouldn't be around other people and other immune.
And it's been proven that the other narratives he tried to push about not being able to see his kid were false. Like,
which ones?
He has a whole stream that he has a whole thing. He streamed that he didn't get to see Halo's first steps, that he wasn't there for his kid's first steps. He also has a YouTube video of Hallie on one side and him on the other side, and the baby walking to him, and it says Halo's first steps ever. And then it's like, you can't be this dense. You can't.
He forgot. He forgot.
That's why he can't take this to court. He can't really fight this in any other way except to get his feelings out on the internet and try to embarrass her because he's lying.
Yeah, and tear her down.
He's lying. What? So this whole thing is a mess.
Because also, like, but the collective social media community were just slandering him a month ago, talking about how he uses his baby for views and this, that, and the third. We seen the baby on stream not even 30 days ago.
He wasn't even 6 months old. He had memes out about him.
Okay.
His daddy had that camera in his face immediately. There was memes of Halo all over the place. But we knew.
We know. And even up until the date that he's posting all this on Twitter, your oldest video with your son is a month ago.
Right.
And they've been sick. So it's like, can you please?
What was the reason? Why? Because he's trying to tear this girl down.
Because he's mad and bitter.
Because he's mad at the woman he had children with because he thinks she's better than him. It's his own doing. You feel me? We think so. We know so. But it's worse because he actually believes it. He thinks like, oh, she's too good for me. I gotta try to ruin her rep. Like, people think I'm not ish, trying to make her not ish too. But that's not how it works.
In any regard, whether you're a celebrity, whether you're a regular person, whether you got money, whether you broke, getting online to bash your significant other
is never the answer.
It's always lame. It's always corny. It always makes you look dumb.
Yep.
Especially when that person has your children. Vice versa. Like, even if it's the woman bashing the man online, you always look crazy. It never looks good. So it's like, you look crazy, and then she's not giving you any of that energy back. So you look even more crazy. Like, you look even more crazy.
He's really painting the picture of himself because he got the most to work with. We got so much information on what you've been doing, what you've been saying, that we could put it together and we can not make sense because it don't.
And you stream all the time.
Yes, when you put all your business on the internet,
and you stream all the time.
You think he got time? People have time to really sit down and watch 3 hours of a stream. And that's pieces.
Come on, people will dissect something from a 10-second clip. You think they won't dissect your 3-hour video?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where you're telling us everything, like,
went on all them interviews when they first broke up and was just saying, just talking. Just
so
telling
aside
the
from his
business.
bad behavior, we're gonna segue into our next theme of
More bad
I
behavior.
call it. Do you use bad behavior? Or get on the internet? Oh, are you?
No, I didn't. No. Yeah, I was being sorry.
This is terrible behavior. He will be put in the chokey. Okay.
I went the bad behavior of just more relationship stuff going on.
He should be put in the chokey for what he's been doing.
Honestly,
He needs to be
ooh,
put in time out.
they should make a baby daddy to me.
Yeah. There's a special place for them.
Okay.
I'm sure there is. But I think what I was talking about is the theme of like, sheltered Black girls. Because I feel like Hallie is not the only young lady to go through this trope of learning the hard way because she didn't have enough experience to know better.
Yeah.
I feel like she's not the only one. Another one of our girls, I love her, but Keke Palmer is another victim of an 8-ish baby daddy who unfortunately
And didn't they rekindle
tried to
that?
embarrass her.
Yeah.
Yes, because she's Miss Keke Palmer. What is he gonna do but get in line? You know what I'm saying? What is he gonna do but get in line?
Yeah, but that got so messy. I did not think that.
And what have we ever heard bad about that young lady? She has a 20-year career. Her career older than us, almost. Not as old as us.
As old as us. Like, we literally came up with
never heard
you
nothing
never heard
scandalous
anything
about her.
Nothing.
As soon
Until
as
a
she
man.
attaches herself or a man attaches himself to her, we hear something negative. And
Yeah.
even though it was short-lived, she ultimately did end up back with him because I feel like, at the end of the day, you do want that relationship. But
there was allegations, though. Like, there was some wild allegations of abuse and stuff
absolutely.
like that. So, like,
oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so that's why I was surprised. Like, the whole Usher thing was minuscule.
Again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know if they're trying to work it out with professionals, therapy, if they're trying to be mature and co-parent for their child. We don't know what's going on, but from the outside looking in, it didn't look great.
It didn't look great.
He got mad at her for being with Usher. Like, what?
In the
Usher.
it was even very insecure. If a woman reacted
not
like
even
that,
being with, let's be clear, he got mad at her for being at an Usher concert and interacting with Usher in the way he does with
anyone at his concert.
Yeah,
it's not
with his fans or whatever.
Yeah, and had a woman reacted like that, there would have been no like rebuttal or anything. It would have just been like, she's insecure, she's OD, and blah 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 blah. Like, it would have just been.
Yeah, it's never the same.
I mean, we tore him down, but
yes, because he earned that.
But there was a group of people that were trying to say like it wasn't appropriate or whatever the case may be. And I don't. Yeah, had the roles been reversed, there wouldn't have been
much to be said.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it's always the double standard, though.
Always.
But
that's interesting.
I don't know.
But when we started talking about this earlier, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna let my children, I don't want to say daughter, but I'm gonna let my kids date at an appropriate dating age. Like 16, 17, like sheltering your kids too much can be dangerous because when they get to the age they can make their own decisions.
Age might be younger now. And not like serious dating, but like it's no way you're stopping your like 14 is like you're in high school at 14.
Let me make a quick point. Other cultures, they integrate like what's the word? Co-ed. They integrate those environments earlier into their children's lives, and it makes for, I think, an easier adulthood later because they get to see and observe and experience things firsthand around the time that it's natural. Because I mean, come on, 13 through 17 is puberty to some extent. So, not exposing your kids to that, or I would say especially young Black girls, I think kind of set them up later in life for kind of bad baby daddy probability being a little bit higher.
Yeah. Because you always, everything is fast when you're a young Black girl. Everything is fast. You can't do nothing. Jesus Christ. Nothing. You can't wear little lip gloss. You can't paint your little nails. You can't nothing. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, but I think if we bring it intentional, like about the fact that we're gonna date at some point in life,
it's healthy.
Then you allow your kids to do that when it's appropriate because
like talk to the kids about sex or anything like that, and then they go off.
They're the ones that end up having 16 and pregnant. We watched 16 and pregnant girls were having babies on their first time. Why? Because they wasn't educated.
They wasn't educated
and exposed to. Like a little bit of exposure is good. This is a little segue, but a vaccine is just a diluted form of a virus. You got to put a little bit of that into them
so you can
put them on. Yeah,
get your mojo. So I know what you're doing, and I think it's honestly important too for young men too, because you don't teach your young sons how to date, men and women. Then they grow up to be DDG. You know what I mean?
Or future, because I called it the future to Russell Wilson pipeline. I feel like we're gonna see more of these successful, beautiful young Black women who end up with, for their first public relationship, a not so great guy, and they might have a kid with him, and then down the line they'll end up with a guy that is who they should have got in the first place. But there's gonna be that hard learning curve for Black girls who are too sheltered, or just girls in general who don't get the proper dating exposure in a healthy, appropriate way.
Yeah,
I think that, I hate to see it, but it's a common theme.
Yeah,
but girls need to learn that first bad boy you fall in love with, he's not the one. Do not have that.
But do you feel like
have your fun and go, baby girl?
Do you feel like it's almost like a canon event? Do you feel like it's something that you can't teach? That it's something that you have to go through?
No, because we talked about this. We were 16-year-old girls at some point.
We went through it though. But we didn't get a baby out of
it. Yes, and for whatever reasons we didn't get babies out of it. We knew better than to.
You're right, because that is a big thing. I can't say that like that's a small thing. It's like, yeah, heartbreak is heartbreak. Heartbreak with a baby?
No.
Woo.
I just think the baby part of it, I don't know, at least maybe it's a cultural thing, maybe it's a moral, and like, I want my family to be built on a marriage, and like I don't think I want to bring kids here without those certain foundations and standards or whatever. But I feel like the girls who don't get the time to develop those standards be falling for anything, and I
be worse off. Yeah, they be worse off.
I hate to
see it. Like going through your first heartbreak at 30 is insane.
Even at 22, I feel like go through your first heartbreak at 16, 17, get out the way. When you start thinking lucidly and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to college now and start making my own decisions, you should have some sort of experience with something.
Yeah, that is true, because that whole go off to college
and even not experience, education. Yeah, you should be told like, look, you're gonna like people, you're gonna see people, but everyone can't be the one.
No, but I feel like dating is one of those things that have. I feel like experience was the better word. Like you have to let your kids. You don't have to, but like letting your kids date, but being present, like when those, I think that happened to me. Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure I went on a date like that once. Like, or maybe I took my siblings on a date like that once, where they wanted to go on a date with their little person, but you sit in the back of the movie theater. They used to do that back in the day. Chaperone dates in the 50s. You chaperone the date. Yeah. That's healthy. Yeah. I think that's healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to stop calling little Black girls fast and stop sexualizing them for doing things that are natural, biological things to do. Yeah. Interest in the opposite sex.
Because all it creates is sneaky kids, or bad decisions. Your kid is not sheltered. You think your kid is sheltered, and then your kid is really sneaky and doing wild things.
Right, and making bad decisions. That's what happens when a kid can't be transparent with you. They start doing things that are like, not
and then they can't. And then they know they're in a bad decision, but then they can't even go back and talk to you about it. So then, Lord have mercy. Right.
Yeah. So get those, if you can, get the bad relationships.
Get Future out the way early.
Get Future out the way early. Whoever your future is, identify him, have your fun with him, and get him out the way early, because going through your Future era in your late 20s, it's not it. It's not it.
And then, and I think there's more of a stigma on these two, Halle and DDG, because they do have the resources to do it, to have done it.
The fact that we know
now, I'm not gonna say right or wrong. I'm just gonna say to have made better decisions. Maybe I should say. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you feel like they should have the resources.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't even be here. We shouldn't even be here from the beginning, from who we thought Halle was, and that's another thing we were talking about. Like, is she who we think she is?
Yeah, and that is also our projection. So, right, we're all this is in my opinion.
In my opinion, right? In my opinion,
so we are also projecting what we think and what we see, though, because as much as you want to say like, oh, what you see on social media, but like what you see on social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
what they're
you
giving us
gotta
to work
take
with.
pieces of. It's not you can't believe everything you see, but
Yeah.
pieces of it you can take. But
So, like we said, get your future ever out early.
yeah,
But also be educated on what the possibilities are.
what we got going on?
Yeah, what's going on out
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
So yeah.
Most love
To
to Hallie.
Hallie,
And
yeah.
Halo.
And we're not saying nobody's an angel. We're not saying she's innocent in this, but she's not on the internet
Tearing
doing
him
as
down.
much as he's doing. Yeah.
We're tearing him down.
Yeah,
but she's
absolutely.
not.
We
And
are.
I think that's another
public.
reason that happens a lot. It's almost like reaction to what we're saying. He like tears
because
her
he lives
down.
on the internet. Like
Yeah,
you said,
exactly.
these streamers, he's seeing every comment.
Every single comment.
seeing
Exactly.
everything.
So I think
And he has
a lot of it is reactionary to us and it's like she's not even doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's
Like,
getting the brunt of other people's actions, but that's obvious. Anyway.
Ooh.
It gets deep. It gets deep. So that's what's going on over there. We wish her the best. We hope that nothing escalates. And honestly, I don't want to hear no more about this. I would love to stop hearing about
After
it.
we didn't talk about it for the minute. Like,
Yeah,
we don't
but-
want to hear no more about it though.
I would love to stop being in their business in this way.
No, yeah.
This way.
Because you did mention this earlier, like it was a little bit hopeful. Like we hoped he would be a good guy. We hoped it would work out. Like just for the sake of we never want to see black love not work out. Obviously. So
We're not haters. It's not like, they together. I hope they break up. We're not hating, but it's like it didn't make sense.
Y'all nosy.
And we wish them the best.
If we not,
They
we
giving
have to
us
dig
all
for
their
this.
business.
We did not have to dig for this, so it's not nosy. He said we nosy.
Yes, we are. We here to give y'all all the information.
Actually, I am very nosy.
I don't mind being nosy when people are putting me in their business. I don't be looking for it.
You know.
But this, yeah.
Why y'all beat up on Future?
Why
Let's
Future
talk
beat up
about
on
it.
women?
Let's talk about it.
Because he be flying them out,
No.
blowing them out, and
Because
throwing them
Future
out.
yeah.
He could afford to do that, but guess what?
What?
Every woman that been with Future knew what they was getting when they got him.
Okay,
They chose to be with Future.
I can agree.
They knew who he was. So therefore,
Why is he like that? I think
Because-
that's the question.
because he's a creep.
He is a creep,
He's
right?
just a creep.
Okay, so let's talk
So-
about the women. Let's talk about it's not even. Let's talk about Sierra. Why he's still harassing that woman to this day?
Because she the one that got away.
She's the one that
Okay,
I was just gonna
okay,
say
that.
that.
was
She's
rhetorical.
the one that got away.
So yeah, the women got with him and they knew they got whatever the case may be, whatever, blah blah blah. But he's not just like an angel. One,
No, no.
two, he
Nobody
don't
said.
take care of his kids.
Nobody ever said he was an angel.
Two, he
We're
don't
just
take
talking
care
about
of
the
his kids.
relationship aspect of it, right? So with the Sierra Future thing, it was Sierra was America's sweetheart, R&B America's black sweetheart, like
She
perfect
still is a
image. They had their rumors about her, but none of those stuck. You know,
She
we
was
love
We shall
Sierra.
not repeat.
Future was her most popular relationship.
No,
Russell Wilson
their
is more popular
relationship
now.
was popular because Sierra was popular.
No, well, Lil Bow Wow was knocking her down first.
What
Well,
they gotta do in it?
they was on the same level, so that was a Chris Brown and Rihanna before Chris Brown and Rihanna. That made
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
Future and Sierra
But
didn't make sense.
but
and it
what
made
was
sense
your
because
point by saying that was her most popular relationship? What does that mean?
Well, because he was a bad boy and she was the good girl.
Mhm.
All y'all like the bad boy.
Okay,
show me
so-
a young woman who don't choose the bad boy.
Agreed.
She,
But then she learned her lesson and she left.
Every one of y'all chose the bad. You know what?
So when a woman leaves you, does that mean you're not
you know why
supposed to
she
take care
left?
of your kid?
You know why she left?
Why?
Because he wouldn't got the next girl.
Because he's a creep and he
She
couldn't
lied. She
keep it in his
could've stayed.
pants, even though he knew he had a good girl, he was still doing her
Yeah.
dirty and embarrassing her in public. So
Because
that's
she
why
was
that
boring.
didn't work out. No, because she was a good girl.
She was a good girl.
But, okay,
but to
he knew what he
him,
was getting
but
into.
he
she was a
knew,
good
right.
girl. She was a good girl. But to,
Clark, yeah,
but,
he was-
that's
but,
what I was
but to him,
going.
he was
That's what I was
boring.
going. But did he not know what he was getting into? We didn't know Sierra to be
It
no fun
seemed
out in the
good.
club.
It seemed good because
We knew her to be the good girl, like you
he-
said. Ain't
he
that
was-
good girl usually boring?
He
and let's
was
talk about it, Victoria.
he was on his mission to, conquer her.
And he couldn't, and that's why he bit it to
Because
this day.
He did.
He's bitter to this day because the Futures want to be Russell. He wants that. He wants that family unit, the babies in the
When I
house,
was
all
putting
of
none of
that.
the work.
But he can't do that because he can't be with one woman. he has deficiencies that he just absolutely cannot get over to be with a woman like Sierra.
He got some issues.
Russell.
I agree with you there.
You know
He
what
got some
I'm
issues. He got some issues.
So
You
they
called him a
both
creep,
knew
so
they
that's all.
both knew what
He's
they
a
were
creep.
getting, but he wanted to change her. I'm not gonna say there wasn't some of her trying to make him a good guy, but
I don't think he wanted to change her. He couldn't
you
change
just
her.
said she was boring. That's why he was out cheating. So then why
To
go with the good
him,
girl?
she was boring because he got a psychological problem.
Okay.
You know, he got an issue.
So you
They need to
agree?
get off Twitter and go to the therapist.
So you
office.
agree? You think Future has a psychological
He
problem?
got issue, yeah.
Okay,
So
so
this-
then
like-
So it's Offset.
Any man that have more than 2 baby mamas has an issue. Just like any woman who has more than 2 baby daddies has an issue. You know what I mean? It's an issue. You know, and a lot of it has to do with how they were raised.
Like you said,
Because
psychological.
because if you didn't grow up in a tight family environment,
and you don't value that.
and I'm gonna tell you, that single mother thing is detrimental. Now, some people can flourish in that environment because some single mothers know how to navigate that. You know what I mean? Like by not bringing Tom, Dick, and Harry into the household. You know, every man she dates into the household in front of her children.
True.
So that type of single mother knows how to navigate that situation.
So
But-
what about people with 2 parents, married parents who got 2, 3, 4 baby daddies? What about people who grew up in a 2-parent household who?
But what I'm telling you is when
We're
there's
talking about single.
when there is a father figure
missing.
in the household, men generally be better to women. They treat women generally
And when
better.
there's one missing, they treat them differently as well.
But when there's no father figure in there, he treats women bad because he doesn't know how to be a man. First of all, you know what I'm saying? He don't know the definition of a man. You know, so and she won't know the definition of a man either. So she's going to be more prone to accept whatever she gets.
But let's talk about that real quick. Let's put a pin in that. Sierra comes from a 2-parent household. Her parents have been married for years. They're in a healthy relationship. So what would make a woman like her? Well, you did say good girls go for the bad boy all the time.
Boy.
But that relationship cannot sustain
she wants to see what that was
boys
like.
Never have the equipment.
She wants to see what that was like.
Yeah. And
You know?
then that ended up in a baby.
She went slumming. You know what I mean?
She didn't go slumming.
No, she went slumming. She went slumming for a little while. She wanted to see what it was like.
No, okay, because I don't know, because I think there's a different few archetypes, right? Because there is an archetype of good girl who does go slumming. That is like, you go slumming. She went looking for the roughest roundaway guy. You wasn't bamboozled, you wasn't tricked. You didn't think that, you didn't really like him. Well, not you didn't really like him, but it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying?
Is that over her being with Bow Wow, who was a cookie cutter?
No,
guy?
I don't know if Ciara.
time?
I'm not saying Ciara did that. I'm just saying that. But there is also the type of good girl who just thinks that she's like living life on the wild side. I don't know.
She wanted.
That's what she likes.
Well,
she wanted a man who she felt could defend her and protect her. Bow Wow didn't have that image. Bow Wow didn't come across as a protector. You know what I'm saying? He was a good guy. You know what I mean? He didn't have a thug bone in his body.
True. That's what I said.
So every woman wants to know that their man can protect her. You know what I mean? That's all. And then and after a while, when they realize that that's not what it's all about, then the Russell Wilson type of guy comes into play because
starts making sense to her.
Because guess what? When you get with the guy like Russell Wilson, you don't need the crunchy black guy or Future because you're not eating in the same restaurants. You're not shopping in the same stores.
It's a different lifestyle because a man like Russell is equipped to give a woman like Sierra the lifestyle she was looking for in a relationship with Future.
Right.
She might have wanted best of both worlds with him.
You're not moving in the same circles.
Well,
so you don't need a bad boy.
And I think that's the common mistake because like I don't think it's as simple as like, oh, they just want a bad boy. I think the common mistake that young women make is thinking that you can have both, right?
Right.
It's thinking that this guy
you can have a good life with a bad boy.
but he's going to be the gentleman for me. He's going to clean it up for me. He's going to be nice to me because that might be what he be showing. Like we all know, the one thing I don't care what we call about Future. You might be a creep, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He got game and he make the hoes feel special. You got to, because there's no way you run through women like that, and they really like him. You get what I'm saying? These women really like him. So at some point, you was making them feel special.
No,
whether it was in the
they like him
beginning.
because they know what they're getting with him.
That's not true because
that's they want.
But those women are expecting to be in
that's
a
what they want.
relationship, best of both worlds with Future. They know what they're getting from him.
but that's not.
Listen,
I don't know.
they-
I don't know
They have no
relationships.
expectation of being a wife.
Right.
They have no expectation
But that's
of being a wife
not
with
true to
Future.
say because.
They're scrap iron.
But that's
They
not
know
true
they're
to
scrap
say,
iron.
They're
because
okay with the role that they're playing with him.
Absolutely.
They're okay with being a rapper's
You
girlfriend.
guys are speaking from the outside looking in, right?
I'm
You're
not
speaking.
in the middle of their
No, you're
relationship.
speaking from a place of logic because we can see that this is all they're gonna get. So you're like, well, if you know that's all you're gonna get, you're getting in that relationship.
Okay, so
I'm speaking from a place of, like I just said, there are women who go into things thinking that they are going to be the single one out. Who thinks that
I've
this
been
guy
in
is
that
gonna
world.
make me the wife? He made me feel special. There's no way he's gonna do to
my
me
argument
what
to
he
that
did to
is
the other women.
I've
And
been
I'm
in
not
that
saying
world.
that the other women don't exist.
the
I
That
come
the
from
other
that
women who
world.
go into it don't think that,
What'd you say,
hey.
CP?
I come from that world. I come from the music industry world. I've been there. Been there, done that. I know
But
what's
if
like
you
from the
know what
inside
you're getting
looking
out
out.
of a person, you're not gonna be heartbroken about it when it
But
ends.
that's what I just
That's
said.
what I'm
The
saying.
women
There's a
that
select
Future
few
is
that
running
are.
through know what they're getting with him and don't necessarily want that next step. Sierra thought she was going to be the one to change.
But you're not
a guy
going to
like
get
Future.
online crying if you didn't think you was going to that next step. You're not going to get online exposing y'all text messages. Sierra isn't the only person that's gone through that with Future. She's just the most known one because she got Russell. But he done had these other girls crying on Instagram Live. It's a girl right now
But
on
that's because he
TikTok.
has a
She got
problem.
15 story times about him.
I seen
She
that
thought she was
debacle
the
last
one.
week, but the fact that that's still happening to him at his big age,
What's happening to him?
not happening to him, that he's still in these type of situations on the internet for
He's
us
a
to see
creep.
all his problems. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So all this comes back down to that. Like,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. I don't know. I was just speaking on the fact that, because he was just saying, like, the fact of just going into something and feeling like you
gonna be the one to change them?
no, that was my point. But he was just saying about, like, they know what they're getting from it or whatever the case may be. And it's like, yeah, but
most of them do.
I think, too, some people just got an ego on them that just feel like they're the one.
But
You get
some
what
of
I'm
some of these girls are looking for a come up, right?
Oh,
because,
yeah.
because guess what? There's certain types of women that men ain't never gonna wife. You know what I mean?
I bet they're different.
I'm telling you, there's certain type of women.
Have you watched My 600-Pound Life?
Listen,
It don't got nothing to do with your weight or how you look,
Listen,
though. It's
listen.
a psychological
It's
thing.
a
That's what we're trying to say. Like,
right,
there's certain
exactly.
types of women that men are not going to marry, and they know that
you know what?
this is what I could do with this type of woman.
Don't you know there's women who be with a man who will have a child with a man. She could have been his childhood sweetheart, and she was with him for 20 years. He would break up with her and meet a woman that he was with for 6 months and marry her.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be his wife.
Okay,
And,
so
and,
like
and,
I said,
and you'll wonder why that woman that was with him all that time that put up with all his mess was never his wife. You know what I'm saying? Because it was something about her that she does and that she did that disqualified her from being
Yeah,
with
that's
his
why
wife.
like we all have our motives and standards in relationships, and even subconsciously we're qualifying or disqualifying the people we date all the time.
All
Like,
the time.
we like
we
when
should
it's-
be, but
Mhm.
but he was said it in a more generalized statement. When you say it like that, that makes sense. But you said there's just certain women that certain men are never gonna date, and I said I beg to differ because somebody's gonna wife somebody. It's somebody out there for everybody. You might think she's the most disgusting
Okay.
person, but like you
I-
said, this person
I
been
tell
with this
you-
person.
I
I
tell
guess
you
you
what.
could say that men are
And
always
marry
gonna
this
have their
person in 6
reasons
months.
for not.
Don't you know men are very tactful, right? There's more women than men,
Mhm.
especially of us, because so many men have been murdered, right? So many men are in jail, right? So many men are homosexuals, right? So many men are married and dedicated to their wives, right? And then you got the futures of the world, right? The playboys, right? So when you put all that together, there is, for all y'all single women,
A limit.
there's only about 15%.
The pictures are
20%.
slim.
Of
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah,
very
we know
There's
that.
data to support. I love that. That makes me
know
feel
that.
better.
it's very, very slow. So you know
Yeah.
what? Men watch y'all very closely. Very, very,
We
very
watch them
closely.
too, though.
But see, the difference is
We just more emotional about it. We
You-
move
you-
more with our feelings, but that don't
But-
mean that
but-
we're not being illogical. Completely.
long before a man say something to you, he done checked you out. You know what I'm saying? He done
But
found
what's
your
more
ass on
important-
social network. He done checked you out before he even said something. Even before social network, he done saw you on your way to work. He saw you get on the train, off the train.
Yeah, but what does
whatever,
that mean? What are you
You
trying
know,
to say?
because he's trying to figure out if you are the one. He's looking for the thing that's going to qualify you to be the one. Long before he says something to you,
And that
Because
thing is
he's-
unique
he's-
to everybody. Let's be
he's-
clear on that. Like,
he's checking your whole potential. All right. Most men checking your. It sounds crazy, but
the men who
men,
lead with that are creeps, though.
Men-
the men
men-
who are
no,
leading with how many
no,
bodies you got.
no, I'm not talking about that part. I'm not talking about that.
But you're leaving
I'm
with
not
that in
talking
your
about
head.
No,
You're
no, no,
not-
no,
you're
no,
not
no, no, no.
saying that.
So what's
You're
wrong
leaving
with
with that.
When I say whole potential, it's not has nothing to do with body.
Is that loyalty? A synonym for loyalty?
It's how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what?
You can't tell from a hoe or not by how I carry myself. I know some classy hoes.
So
Classy.
you know what it is?
Upscale.
When I say that, when men see you are too familiar with too many men, that's enough to disqualify you from a good man.
Or insecure guy who doesn't,
Nah,
who
nah,
doesn't
it has
like that you're a
nothing to
social
do
butterfly.
with
and
insecurity. It has nothing to do with insecurity. It's a difference between a woman who is a social butterfly, you know what I mean, as opposed to a woman who is a flirt. He's looking to see if she flirts, if she's an extreme dater, you know, that type of stuff. Men pay attention to that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because most
How
men
would
are
you know-
pirates.
what
Most
would-
men, we're
what
pirates.
would-
We
wait,
want
hold on.
to keep
Let me ask
the
you a
treasure for
question.
ourselves.
What would like you said, you would watch a woman first, right? How would you know if a woman is an extreme dater? What are some things that would say to you, this woman is an extreme dater?
if
And
she's
what
liking
does
guys'
extreme
pictures on
mean?
Instagram.
No. I mean
No,
to
that has nothing to
TP
do with it.
specifically.
I'm being sarcastic, but I'm saying
yeah, because I would like to know. Because
these are
you're saying that
qualifiers that
he's looking to see if you're an extreme dater. What does that mean to you? And how would you pick that out from a woman?
Well, like I said,
if she's too friendly to the waiter, that disqualifies her. Like, what are the
Yeah, give me three things.
For
Give me
me
the
to
top
be
three
out.
things.
He's going to watch you in your natural habitat, in your zone.
Okay, so what
like
are
so
some
like
things?
like if he comes to your job, right? He's gonna see how you conduct yourself at work. You know what I mean? If you out having lunch, he's gonna see how
you conduct yourself socially.
How you
So
conduct
if I'm
yourself
too
socially.
friendly with the
You know
waiter,
what?
if I'm at the
And guess
restaurant
what?
and ask the waiter his name,
Guess
Yeah,
what?
I need
disqualified.
examples. I need
That's not
examples.
that's
Give me one
That's what
example
I'm
from work
saying.
and give me one example from seeing you out
Listen,
that would disqualify that you would
it's-
see and
it's
you would
the-
go, whoa. Well, give me something from your experience.
It's the energy you exude. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Because men, I'm telling you, men
But
are
why are
very
you
observant.
okay? So my thing is, why are you saying men like as if only men do that though?
I'm giving you it from a male's perspective. Women
So
got
you're
your own
saying that
perspective.
men qualify you based on how you carry yourself
Absolutely.
in public. Women do the same
I feel
Absolutely.
like
thing.
that's a person.
We do the
thing.
same
I
thing.
don't
A
think that
person
that's
with
universal?
sense thing.
Listen,
Because if you
right.
have standards and
But
sense
see,
about who you want to be seen
do
with,
you
you
think
want
the
to
that
be
that's
around.
universal?
the difference between men and women is this, right? Men have more options to choose, right? So women will tend to lower their standards because there's not as many options. So guess what?
Okay.
If a man can look at you and let's just say he gets to know you a little bit and he goes to your Instagram, right? And guess what? If he sees too many sexualized photos of you on Instagram, right? He might like everybody's pictures. He might be one of the guys that like that shit, right?
But not for you.
but
for
not for
him.
you. He's offended by it. He doesn't like that because guess what? That's my lady.
He doesn't like that for him.
You know what I'm saying?
A bozo. That's all you're explaining to me.
Because how does that
Well,
make
that's
it
how-
better that he's on there
that-
liking
that-
pictures of
that-
other women who are doing that?
But see, you know what?
Because if I'm not even your woman, how are you even taking claim to saying, I don't like that for you? I like other girls who do
you know what?
And I'm not even your person. You just watching me because you might be interested.
And this is where we go back to the
because he is profiling.
And let me also go.
He's profiling.
Let me touch on something you said men have more options than women, and since women have less options,
and that little trivial shit is enough for a guy to pass on. You said they tend to
lower their standards, and I agree with that, right? But also, I would say that men start off with low standards because if you have all of these options to choose from, and women are lowering their standards for you, right? You could go sleep with this woman. You know, you got this woman in your back pocket. You go over here, because all of these women are lowering their standards for you. Then why are so many men unmarried and single? And if y'all are so picky and you watched for so long and you made sure she was not an extreme dater and you got all of these options to choose from, why is it so hard for men to find the woman they're looking for, have one baby mother and marry her if they're using all of these tactics to make sure that this woman is good enough for them? And if they have all of these standards they abide by and all of these things we can,
why not marry her and why not be with her in a family that
why?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why not? You gotta tell me why, because you're talking.
Most men are late bloomers. All right, men mature.
They're slow.
Women mature faster than men.
We know.
All right, you know that, right? So guess what? A man don't step into his sigma phase till he get to a certain age, and when he get there, all them boyish things that he used to do, he gonna stop doing all.
It has nothing to do with age,
and that's why he's single at his old age.
I'm saying,
but that's what I'm saying, and that's why most of them end up single.
What did I say? When he stepped into his sigma phase.
Okay.
I said when he gets to sigma phase, all those boyish things that he did, he ain't gonna do, because guess what? First things first.
Who's gonna be waiting around for him now? In sigma phase.
You don't have to wait around for him.
I'm saying who, but you
saying nobody.
How many options he got in his sigma phase?
He got so many options
in his sigma phase too.
Because the ratio of men to women. Is why he
with that. And
is why he
there's
he
older women. There's women of all age groups who are continually lowering their standards based on what the pickings are. Like, it's a percentile thing.
Right.
The chances of me getting the guy that hits everything on my list, I'm gonna be in the 10th percentile. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take me a minute to get him, or like it's just the probability is not the same.
So why, but that goes, P didn't answer my question, because I understand what he's saying, but then that goes back, that takes me back to my original question then, right? If men don't gotta lower their standards because they got so many options, right? Like you said, we got our 10th percentile, right? And sometimes we might have to lower because he might have got this, and this, and it's like, all right, time's ticking. But if men don't got to do that, right? Because he could be in his sigma phase when he's 40 and he's still got all these options, and he's still got, where is the happily ever after for all of these men online who is angry at the women for living their whole life or being
all those
extreme daters or whatever they're doing? Why aren't they married now? Why haven't they picked their pick?
That's a small majority of the men in their sigma phase that you see on social networks.
Yeah, the guys with the mics they don't speak for the majority of.
That's right. They don't, because most men when they in their sigma phase,
it's like a terrorist and they pass that, very niche market.
They move in silence.
But I have not heard that take from a happily married man. I have not heard this take.
What take?
Not your take per se, but for the take of that. Like,
I feel like I've heard it before. What I would paraphrase is that access to relationships is up to men. But if that's the case, why are so many men single and alone in their 40s? Because men are the ones who say, we're going to be in a relationship. Women are the ones who say, here's how long it takes before we are intimate. Men say, here's how long it is before I marry you. And that could be 5, 10, 15 years. Okay. And women will be okay with that, even though that's not what they want, because the pickings are slim.
A lot of men that's in their 40s, right, who don't choose a wife, so it'd be other underlying issues why they don't.
They creeps. They need to go to that lady with the P. That's psychiatrist.
A lot of them. It's not that they creeps. A lot of them they don't have their shit together.
They got wounds.
They don't have their shit together. You know what I'm saying? You know what? They fucked around and brought too many pairs of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? They're not financially set to be a husband. So it's gonna take them another 10 years to get their shit together because their credit's fucked up. Their mind might be right. Their mind might be right, but they got to get all the stuff together that they screwed up. You know what I'm saying? And that's not like an overnight thing. But the men who got their shit together, they good. They get out of that little boy phase.
Because I don't know too many men who fully got their shit together where they don't got a wife. That's what I'm saying. You took I don't know too many men who, like you said, you're picking. You might have all of these options, but usually those are bottom barrel men who are running through. I'm
gonna tell you something.
Let me finish. It all circles back to Future, right? We said he's a creep. So the men who's running through women. I haven't seen too many happily married men who was running through women like that, and they. And
you know how many women don't,
and they got their life together, and they.
You know how many grown women don't want to be married?
Yes,
as well.
There's a whole lot of women who say, you know what, I like things the way it is. You know what, me for you.
But what does that have to? Why you keep? Why every time I say something about the men, you bring it back to the women? If I'm asking you specifically about the men.
No, I'm telling you why it's like that.
You said.
I'm telling you it's like that.
Why are so? What you just said? Why so many happily married men? What?
I said, I don't know. And I said, I feel like the men who was running through, like he said, they had all these options. He could run through whatever girls he wants because he's not in his significant.
They're the ones that's not married.
These are the ones who they don't, like you said, they don't got their stuff together. I don't know too many happily married men who have that outlook on relationships though, that feel like they're able to do that.
The happily married men see a value in a wife and a home and a family.
Amy, you got it.
The Nick Cannons and Cam Newtons don't see a value in a wife and a family because they was taught that running around and having kids with a whole bunch of women was it. You understand? There's different outlooks on everything. So from one perspective, what you value in baby mamas is what other men value in a wife. So the man who's running the streets, having kids with 8 different women is not the same man that's getting married and making a home.
Okay, as long as we agree on that.
Absolutely.
Okay, as long as there's a
clear gap. There's a clear gap. It is the
As
future
long
to
as we
Russell
agree on
Wilson
that. As long
pipeline.
as we
But
agree on that.
because
There's a whole gap
most
between
men.
them.
Because I think I was misunderstanding to say like, oh no, you can be this type of man, whatever, blah blah, because you still have all of these options.
No,
to
because
so I think that's what I was misunderstanding.
you know why the Cam Newtons can do what they do? Because of that ratio we were talking about.
Yeah, but
it's ratio, it's income, it's finances. It's more than just the numbers.
It's all the things that he has, but there's a lot of guys that don't have his money.
But you know what you just said though? There's some women who don't want that relationship. So some women, I just want to have a child. Why not have it for Cam Newton instead of Cameron down the block? You know what I'm saying? There's differences. There's profiles that make sense.
Most of them,
absolutely.
Most of them that want his baby got a whole nother agenda. But
everyone has one. Can we establish that?
But what I'm saying to you is this, right? Most of those guys that doing the Cam Newton thing, you know, they creeps, right? They taking advantage of the situation, right? And a lot of those women know he's taking advantage of the situation, but a lot of these women just don't want to be lonely.
But those are the women that I was talking about. And they are willing to take for a payday. They really think that they're gonna get something special in the end.
But not being lonely don't mean they want to be in a relationship with him, bro. It could just mean I just want to have my baby. I just want to have a baby. I just want a kid. I want a family. And that could be a part-time family. I just want my kid, but I don't really need to be with his dad as long as I'm getting enough money to take care of him and go on vacation and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know the women that came in this radio station here and sat right there. We all said that we would have these conversations. Who said that? A half a man is better than no man at all.
Who said that?
I'm sorry to hear that.
A lot of women have come in here and said that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You know what I mean?
But this is on standards and
can I ask you a question? And I'm not trying to be biased, but can I ask you a question? How old were they? And be honest.
How old were they?
How old were they? And were they 40 and over? Were they over 40?
Some of them are over 40, some of them are under 40.
And
because it's based upon their circumstances.
And I'm not saying that
it's based upon their circumstances.
Or old person can't feel like that, exactly. Because
it's based on what you want for yourself.
I feel like that's based off self-love. Because to say that is crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to be jaded at 25 and to be jaded at 45 is the same jaded, but it's different at different
Well, how do
ages.
y'all feel about that 45-year-old woman who is poisoning the 25-year-old woman and telling the 45-year-old woman telling her, the 25-year-old woman, that she don't need a man?
I think that's bitter. That's bitter.
You know what I mean? Because
behavior.
A lot of young women who don't know any better, right?
Was so
instead of the older woman pulling her coat to how her life turned left because she dated the future, as opposed to not choosing.
Because she
not
thought
choosing,
the future was gonna be the husband.
Right. So
she thought that
but
was
instead of
gonna
her
be one and the
educating
same.
the young girl, she's not giving her good wholesome instructions.
Yeah, because
she's bitter and she's
that's
poisoning
punishing
her.
somebody else for your own crimes.
She's
Black
right.
women have a tendency to do that. I'm not gonna lie. We know a lot of bitter old black women. I'm sorry, older black women who be mad at us for even dating freely and having experiences with different guys or whatever. I feel like a lot of older women might call us whatever fast or frown upon that because they decided to stick with one guy who after a while they realized he wasn't it and they didn't make the choice to go and leave with somebody else because they was going to get called this and that and this one was going to think that of them and they were all in the same circle, whatever the reason was. But we're doing things that women back then didn't do, and so sometimes they are bitter about it. So spreading that bitterness,
they do that.
It happens. I see it happen.
I don't know.
How I think you know that you got the right person in your life? If you have a corporate job, right? And there's a corporate function, company Christmas party, company picnic and stuff. If you're not comfortable taking that person there with you, 9 out of 10, they're no good for you.
Question. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10, they're no good for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you should not have to be ashamed. That's a clear sign of
something not right.
Right. You shouldn't be ashamed of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what?
Are there people in corporate jobs? Because I'm thinking, all right, you 30 at least. Like, are there people in corporate jobs who are still dating and are ashamed of the people they date? I think
absolutely,
that's insane.
Victoria.
Yes.
What?
Yes, because you know what? Let me tell you something.
Not saying like are there, but
in my encounters, what I do, right? I have so much access to women.
I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Right? And I chop up a lot of women. You know how many women say that they tired of meeting dudes that's 40 years old talking about he going to the studio, he gonna be a rapper?
Yeah. We all tired of it.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
We not 30 and we tired of it.
Right. So this is what y'all have to deal with because
we know
so many men are so late bloomers and not mature enough and ready.
I hate that you're saying late bloomers.
Yeah,
they is bombs, baby. Them boys is bombs.
They are.
Them boys
Again,
they are.
The men who are in married relationships and healthy relationships with women are not the same men who are running through women. Obviously, there's a divide there.
I'm
that divide starts.
Bloomers.
Yeah, so that divide that starts at the blooming. The ones who are married now bloomed. Well, the ones who's going to the studio didn't bloom.
I'm talking about the studio ones. I thought he was calling studio boys late bloomers. That's what them boys is bombs. Them 40-year-old studio boys, come on, boy.
Wait, I thought he was calling them late bloomers.
He is.
But I'm saying no.
They're losers.
Yes.
They're losers.
Yes.
They're losers.
But I think the black
because there's so many things that they missed in their life. You know, they never grew up. You know what I mean? They didn't have any good role models. You know what I mean? Guess what?
And
if you're having a conversation about that, about like dressing, even like the way you dress after a certain age too. Like,
let me you know what? You're right there because guess what?
That's why you can't bring him to the function.
Right.
You know his hair not gonna be done. His wreath was gonna look a damn mess.
None of that.
He don't got no collared shirts. Like
first thing, remember what I was telling you before? You know, when you meet a guy, you date a guy, right? You got to ask him the right questions to qualify him. Don't look at how handsome he is and how tall he is, and he in the gym working out. He got a 6-pack. He drive a BMW.
Guilty.
And all that shit, right? You know what?
Guilty.
Ask that motherfucker. Do he got life insurance? Mm-hmm. Do you got any investments? Are you a homeowner or do you rent?
You'll be like, yeah, I got Bitcoin.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Guess what? Rent is for suckers, right? Rent is for suckers.
Relax.
Of a certain age. We're not rent haters here.
We're not rent haters. You can't run that. You can't run that on.
I'm talking about a man of a certain age.
We were just talking about this the other day, CP, that a man that has not lived on his own in America is not equipped to be the head of a family. That's what you said the other day, right?
Yes, absolutely.
No, but a man that's not lived on his own in general.
But what I'm saying, you if he is none of those things that I just said to you,
He don't gotta own a home yet, but he gotta be equipped.
He has to be equipped to be that, right?
Right. Yeah.
He got to be on the trajectory to do that,
Trajectory.
right? But once you get past that, you need to go look in his closet, right? If
He got loafers.
if he bingo,
He got a pair of Cole Haans
if,
in there.
if he got too many fucking tennis shoes in there, that's a red flag.
That's what I.
If he ain't,
just having that conversation.
if he ain't got at least
I
3
love
suits and a tuxedo,
Soda Club Pell, but
if he ain't got at least 3 suits and a tuxedo,
Yes.
you need to rethink. You need to
You gotta
Again,
think about the places we be at, boo, and think about like, can this man come with me?
That's what
Can he
I'm
be
saying.
first class on a flight
Like-
to so and so? Is he gonna know what to do if we go in this establishment and they bring him the hot steam napkin in first class? You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like, what the hell? You know? Has he been somewhere before?
Yeah.
and in
Those
modern day
things
right
matter.
now, right?
Yeah.
You said
You-
what?
In modern day.
In modern day now, when you go out to certain places, right?
Yeah.
And you got a man.
The
If a man goes,
qualifiers.
if a man goes in his pocket and pull out a wad of money, you should run.
Yeah. Oh no.
You should fucking run. Money's dirty.
He is selling things.
It's
he
not
ain't
that-
supposed to be shown.
It's not that he's selling things. Well, there's a possibility of that, but money's dirty. It's so old and antiquated. You know, if you got more than $20 or $30 in your pocket,
I
you know,
don't
it's-
always agree with that
it's
because
just
I
like-
don't always
big
agree
bills
with that.
make me, big bills might get my
But
eyes
you
sparkling
shouldn't
a
be
little
pulling
bit.
out a
If
wad
I
of
see a
money.
clip,
If we're going on a date and
that's why you
you
get
got a
bamboozled.
little.
That's why you get
No,
bamboozled.
not even that. Like, because if you're going on a date and you pulled,
I'm
like,
learning.
pulled out cash, because sometimes you do want to pull out cash. I'm learning that as
Yeah.
well. So
That's
like,
why
if you
it's
got
like, cash
a
ain't
little
always
couple
bad.
200 crisp bills, 300 crisp bills, that's fine.
That's what I'm
You shouldn't be
saying.
pulling out 10,
A
20, 20,
wad.
20, 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a wad. You
Listen,
should, if
what
you
I'm
got
saying to
some
you-
cash in you, it's fine. But
Let me tell you something.
I like
What
the
you're
little
saying
cash.
to us is we should have some qualifiers.
You going out with a man and he pulls out $5,000 to $10,000 in cash in his pocket. I don't care if it's $50,
Who's doing
$100.
that? That's
Yeah,
lame.
that's
You
ridiculous.
know,
These-
all these
like, that's lame.
Because that's to impress these feeble-minded
Lame
young ladies.
people.
Yes, that's
All
lame.
you
I'm saying?
lame people.
So you know,
That's
as a woman, some of these things that
you pull out, bro. Nothing on this
You
table
pull out
costs
anything more than-
$15,000.
Yeah, if you
bro.
put
Like,
out anything more
if
than
you come out
$1,000 in
like-
front of me at one time, I'm gonna look at you.
I'm gonna call my homeboys and we're gonna meet you. They gonna meet you in the parking lot. No, let me stop. But
but
No,
I'm
for
saying, but so
that's lame. We know that's lame.
but a lot of these things is
Impressive to women.
some of the things that you all should be looking at.
Yes,
Right.
these are things that certain people think are impressive to
Like
others.
me, right?
No. I like to hear that that card clink on the tip.
Yeah,
That's more
I
impressive
can't
than
even make the
$10,000.
noise.
That
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
yeah,
like for
that's
me,
that's real impressive.
if I'm going to date a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We can't tell how old a woman is and all type of things, but most women look like brand new money all the time. They dress nice and looking like brand new money, right?
You know,
You know,
that's-
I can't- I
We
can't
got
wait
to.
to see where she live at, right? I want to see where she
Oh
live at.
my goodness.
I want to see where she live at, right? You know why I want to see where she live at? Because that's going to tell me a lot about her, right?
Did you watch?
And you know what? I want to get inside her crib. I want to see.
I'm
know
gonna
what
tell
I'm
you
saying?
something. One of the Love Is Blind, they do that episode where these people meet, they don't see each other at all, but then there's a time when they go to each other's homes, they go to each other's real homes, and they see how they live.
Mhm.
In the most recent episode, there was this girl, and this man went to her home, and I think that was the moment he mentally disqualified her from being his wife because her house was disgusting.
It was filthy.
She was
look-
leaving for vacation, and her closet was filthy, clothes on the floor. You couldn't even see
Hey,
the
look,
floor of her closet.
Listen,
Her bed was full of stuff.
that happened to me before.
And I think he disqualified her right there. He
I
ended up
dated
not
a
even
girl
getting to the
once.
wedding.
I dated a girl once that everything about her was perfect.
Yeah.
She was beautiful. She wore designer everything, right? But we were going out one time and she made a mistake. She invited me upstairs. And I didn't know that, right? I was younger. She invited me up into the apartment.
You didn't even know what you was
Remember
looking
Dirty
for.
Under the Bad Boy?
I went up into this apartment and
It
you know what?
Qualified quick.
Her Pookie days was over that day. You know why? First things first.
Pookie days is over.
She lived with her sister. And the sister had a little baby, right?
Mm.
The little baby had a diaper on that was swollen.
Mm.
But she was with you.
But do the house. They living together,
They
right?
live in a house though. You okay
So-
with that?
So I'm looking around I'm like, all right. I sit down, right? And they live in the projects and shit, right? So I'm looking around and the projects got that floor, that towel floor. It's like a
Mhm.
beige and shit, right?
mhm.
And there's a stain on the floor. Clearly Kool-Aid. You know, when Kool-Aid spills, it coagulates, right? It gets real thick.
We know what Kool-Aid do.
All right. So inside the Kool-Aid was a
It's
roach.
I knew you was gonna say
There was a
that.
roach in the Kool-Aid. So baby, swollen diaper, Kool-Aid, roach, right? And I'm sitting there. I'm like,
TP out.
so check it, right? So then I remember something that my dad said. Go to the bathroom. Check the bathroom. Check the bathroom. So
I got a
I
name and bathroom story for recently.
I asked to go to the
Yes.
bathroom.
Oh my
I asked to go to the bathroom, but on the way to the bathroom, you know, in the project, you know, they got the little kitchen area. I walk past the kitchen, there's dishes in the sink, right? I go to the bathroom, there's just shit all over the place, you know, like cosmetics and just shit all over the place, right? I'm like, all right, she's no good for me. All right, I can't do this, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I walked out of that shit and I said, this broad needs Jesus and a mop. You know what I'm saying?
No, Jesus needs a hand on a
She
mop.
needed Jesus and a mop. And you know what?
Boy.
But when I saw this woman, I would go out with her. She smelled good. She looked good. But she lived like a fucking
It be
rat.
like
And that matters.
Men too.
You know what?
That
So
matters.
guess what?
Men too.
Ooh.
Guess what?
She
was
talking
done.
about them
It was
after.
over with. That's
She was
it.
talking about them after. She
Never
got
be
one.
seen again.
What's his code name?
Dirty under the bed boy.
Uh-huh.
Went to his house, right? Dropped something, rolled behind the bed. So obviously I'm not gonna go under the bed. I'm just gonna. It was a little gap between the wall and the bed. I go to stick my hand down there. Now I'm disclaimer. I'm a water bottle girl. You might see about 4, 5, 6 water bottles under my bed. I drink them in the bed. Sometimes they roll under. I go get them like 3 times a week. It wasn't water bottles, okay? It was water bottles, soda bottles, chip bags.
It was the garbage can.
It was snacks, like all the snack, and I eat snacks in my bed, but like I don't leave the wrappers. Like that's crazy.
You don't just
leave the
throw this between
a
the headboard
water
and the wall.
bottle, 4 or 5 water. I'm okay with water bottles. Like it was
Okay,
just
so-
chips and just
So that's the
ain't
standard
never
of
seen
cleanliness.
it
You gotta
again.
see how somebody live before you know, can I be with them?
And check behind the
Can I
bed.
be with them? Check with me and check, okay? Me, the bathroom is always one for me. I went into a bathroom the other day. I said, you ain't near seen me in here. I ain't near coming over here no more. I was pissed. Like, bathroom was unsightly, okay?
Terrible.
Unsightly.
Terrible.
But
I went in there, my shoes
you know
was
what?
sticking to the ground, baby. I said,
Oh, that means he was sprayed, but he was pissing on the floor.
baby.
When it's sticky like that, that's pee-pee.
That's,
But you know something though?
I'm having a trauma response.
I'm gonna tell you why some men are like that. You know how we talk about the ratio, right? There's so many women that will lower their standards that they will overlook that. See, y'all are different.
Enough women have overlooked it that they think it's okay. That
Exactly.
you come in there and tell them it's not okay, and they say, "What's wrong with you?"
What's wrong with this man?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
More for
She
myself,
bougie.
baby.
Exactly.
Yes, I am.
Exactly.
Whew, honey.
Oh, you want to know? Maybe the women who did see something wrong ran like us and never said nothing.
Please say something.
I ain't saying
more
nothing.
than
I'm
other
running.
women.
We too grown to be saying anything.
Who we
Oh,
gonna say it to anyway?
So let me
Who
ask-
gonna say it to?
no,
I
I'm
got-
saying to them.
I got
yeah.
another question for y'all, right? Why do women, when they come to a man's house, leave shit there?
In
You
case
only
he got
do
another
that-
woman coming over there.
You only do that, yeah.
When you think he got somebody else coming
or
over there.
if you smoke, you might have really forgot it. I'm a forgetful person.
Yeah,
But
if I
I'm
leave a
probably
lighter, that's
not
different
gonna
than me
leave nothing.
leaving.
No, I ain't talking about no damn lighters.
No,
Okay.
okay. Well, I'm saying something identifiable. Yes, I want you
Yeah,
to know
if
it's
you
another woman
doing
around here.
yeah.
I'm gonna leave my secret deodorant on the top drawer, and when you open it looking for what he got in there, you're gonna see that
You gonna
Amy
leave,
was here.
would you leave your Yanni in the shower?
I don't know if I would do that.
we get Yanni.
Is that a toy? You
No.
referring to a toy? What's
That's
that? A wash?
Yes. That's coochie cleaning.
Coochie cleanser,
Oh,
my yoni
that's
wash?
probably
Yoni,
that's
yoni,
probably
yeah.
on
Yoni
accident.
wash?
That's probably on
Mm.
accident.
You think?
I don't know because I leave my Dr. Bronner's and I don't mean to leave that ever. I don't never leave my
Men use Dr. Bonners too. I use Dr. Bonners.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
But I like because in the shower.
But I'm saying, like,
But leaving feminine wash specifically, it could be intentional, but it's
That could be
unintentional.
but earrings.
Yeah.
You know,
where was the earring? Because if it was by the bed, that was probably
You know
your
what?
fault.
You know what my favorite is? A little hairpin.
you know, it get knocked out.
You know why? Because where you putting that? That ain't yours.
That ain't
Where
yours.
you putting that? I'm keeping my little
hairpins,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Hairpins. Yeah.
And-
And
and-
women
and-
do that to
but-
mark their
but-
territory, one, or to let
Dude,
someone else
we're
know that
animals.
there
We're
was someone
animalistic
there.
at the end of the day. So
That's
I
why we
want,
do it.
I want whoever in here to know I be in here too.
Damn.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
And
cool.
That's why you
Yeah.
keep your business clean and you don't be having multiple women in and out your room.
That's
Okay.
cool.
And then you know you go back and
That's
you look
cold.
to see if it's
He
moved the
think
next
men are only when
time,
they got game.
and then you go.
You know, men,
What happened to
but
my
no,
hair?
men don't do that. See, we used to
We calculate.
we-
I don't
we-
calculate.
We're
we
way
used
more
to look for
calculated
like
now.
hair on the soap and shit like that, but nobody uses soap anymore. Everybody uses body wash now. So,
Right.
like, so but men don't do that. Like a man, if I go to your house, I'm not leaving anything.
On
In fact,
purpose, though.
in fact,
But
I'm
men
fu-
do that so that
and-
women don't think
Hold
that
on,
at-
hold
at-
on.
at this-
Men
I
don't
wanna
do
get into
what?
it.
at
I
this
wanna get into it.
Men don't
at
do
this
what?
point in my
I wanna
life,
get
I'm not
into
even
that.
gonna go to your house.
I want to get into
Men
that.
don't do what?
Hold
Because
on.
men do leave stuff at your house.
Men
And it
don't.
goes in the garbage.
If men don't leave stuff at your house, it's to create space between what you think y'all are and what y'all actually doing. Because men will be
Hello.
coming over to your house every night. Men will be sleeping there. Men will have a toothbrush there. Men will ask for this, that, the third. You buy
And
him
when they
his own
want to leave
soap
something, they will.
And he-
You will buy him his own stuff.
because
believe
he be
me.
over there. So GD much it don't really
But
make
you
sense. that he-
brought it. But you
Yes,
brought
I
it.
mean,
He
I
ain't
can't-
Okay,
brought
no,
shit.
no, pause. All
He ain't
right,
brought
let's go
shit.
back. Let's go back. All right, men won't leave things at your house to create space. It's I'm coming
I
over here
agree.
all the time. It's I'm with you every day.
I
I
agree.
know my way in and out this, but I'm not leaving nothing over here because we ain't crossed that line yet. That's a boundary.
Yeah.
Men don't leave things at your house as a boundary. Women leave things at your house to test the boundary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. Period. Because we calculate, y'all. It's black and white. It's I don't want her to think that we more than what we are, so I'm not gonna do
And
nothing
as
to give
soon
her
as
that
a man
impression.
want to mark his territory, he will leave
He
something
will.
at your house.
He'll do more than leave something. He'll leave something on you, in you, with you.
Mm.
Okay, that's what
Mm.
men do.
Mm.
So let's not.
Marcus Territory.
When they want to leave things, they
Yes,
do.
that's what they do because they feel like once a yes, that's
How-
how that's how y'all operate. Y'all operate
how a
like
man Marcus
you
Territory?
you
put
mine.
a baby
like,
in you.
they
Okay.
Make you get a.
or
not
even
make
like
you,
you
but-
mean like if they leave something over your house,
How they
they'll
mark
probably
his
try to either like leave a little pair of shoes over there. Oh, toothbrush is an old famous one. Oh, the PlayStation.
Yeah, leaving things.
They
is
love
an
the
age
PlayStation.
old game.
Or
That's
yeah.
moving in. That's new age.
no,
I'm
no,
not gonna
no.
lie.
I mean, obviously it's
I ain't
new
play-
age, but
We ain't playing on PlayStation.
look,
But
it's new age.
I wouldn't
right?
let no boy bring his PlayStation over though.
I'm just look.
Really?
PlayStation, they leave
That's
stuff
for his
over your
house.
house.
That's
They
for his
leave.
house.
Y'all missing the point.
See,
not
see,
the
y'all was
point
coming
about
up by
the
yourself?
PlayStation.
shit.
No, I
It's
was
not
by
the point
yourself.
about
You
the
was letting them
PlayStation.
bring their PlayStation. Not
Okay,
just saying,
okay.
no.
Y'all right.
No.
But that was young me, not now.
That's
But
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying.
So
but
hold
that
up, right
was
now,
young me.
where you at in your life right now? You would let a man bring his PlayStation to your house?
I wasn't
You-
letting them
First,
bring.
you're dating
No,
a man that
okay,
plays
so-
PlayStation?
First of all,
I'm not
okay,
mad at
okay.
them.
Let me answer your two-part question. One, I wasn't letting them bring the PlayStation to my house when they was playing the PlayStation back when we was young, but I'm saying they will try to. Secondly, I don't have a problem with any man playing a video game, but you shouldn't
That's
be
for his
traveling
house.
with it.
That's
Right.
for your own.
Now, if you
baby.
so deep in the video game, you traveling with it, that's
It's
no
a problem.
But I don't
That's-
have a problem with a man playing a video game.
Yeah.
If you want to use your video game
that
to
I'll
decompress,
agree with all
I don't
that.
have no problem with it.
Okay,
Yo,
I get that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, once you got it in the trunk, first of all, that's a red flag. You don't got a permanent place to stay, and if you do, you try and you bring your PlayStation with me. You too deep in the game, or you think you staying here for a long period of time, right? So that means you think you're gonna have downtime at
Yeah, that's
at my
halfway
house.
moved in. You're not bringing no plug-in
That's what I'm
electronic
saying.
devices to my
That means
home.
because
Nah.
that's what it really means to them. It's not even about the fact of it being mature. It means that okay, maybe you coming from Friday to Sunday, but if you bring your PlayStation, that means you really might try to stay till Wednesday. You know, that's really what it means. That means you think
Even
you're
then,
gonna
you
have
coming
more
from Friday to Sunday
than
with your
enough
PlayStation. Why?
because you're
have
trying to
48
stay
hours.
till Wednesday. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely not.
But he said, "What are the red flags?" And that was the red flag. I'm saying it's a red
Okay.
flag.
That's
That
okay.
is a red flag.
Okay,
Right,
all right.
right. It's a red flag.
Wow. I mean, this
So
this-
there's
Sneakers,
boundaries.
they leave sneakers because I got my slides in the car. Oh, you got your slides, but you try to leave your little sneakers there because they want to see if another man gonna come see his sneakers.
Right.
That's how men do.
But you know
Yo,
something?
oh, a white T-shirt. Oh, men is famous for a white T-shirt.
But leaving things is a common way. What's another way
But-
that
but-
men
but-
work their territory?
but-
They put a baby in you. They trap you.
He don't
And
think
they
it's possible. He don't think men trap women.
They trap you in a, not even with a baby. They trap you in a relationship that neither one of y'all want, because you want a relationship. I'm describing a situationship here. He'll trap you and say, well, you can't be with nobody else, but I'm not gonna be with you if you want other people. But you want to be with him, so now you're in a situationship where that's not what you want, but you're lowering the standard because so men do other things that women want. Again, men hold the key to
Can't be
relationship
with nobody
access.
but me, huh?
Men hold the key to relationship access. Yeah, they do that.
They do that.
Yeah.
Or
And they'll
they
cut
won't
you
even
off
say
emotionally.
it. They won't even say it like, "Oh, you can't be with nobody but me." But once they get an inkling that you're also dating,
They cut you off
it's
emotionally
very
from other
aggressive.
men.
It's very
Hard.
aggressive. They get
Even when they
yeah.
know they don't want you and they can't be with you, they don't want you with nobody else because
Yeah.
that's biological.
And you could say to them, "But we're not committed," and they go over
don't
the
matter.
top TV.
But because most men are pirates, we have a
And
pirate
most women are
syndrome.
mermaids.
You know what I'm saying? And a pirate don't share the
I'm a
treasure.
slither wherever the-
You know what I'm saying? We don't
I
share
hear
the treasure. But you know what?
But we
But
is
see,
on
but-
the
but
boat.
see,
Men have their
but-
methods
but-
and women
but
have
you know what?
ours.
Generationally, men do things differently,
Yep.
and when men get to certain different points in their life, age, we mature, we do things differently.
Age, circumstance,
Like right, because like for instance,
position.
I will not go to a woman's house. I'm not spending that at a woman's house. I'm not going there.
Love that.
You know
I
what?
hate
I
men.
hate when men say
Or I
that.
hate a man that want to come to my house.
Hold on, no, wait. Woo! Because, and this might be different for you, but I know maybe our generation of men who have like been saying that lately, and they're like, oh, because a man might pop up here and try
That's
to
a
shoot
valid
me,
reason.
blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
Is that also your reason?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say this, right? See, if you were married before, right, or in a committed relationship, baby daddy, whatever, right? And I don't know fully what your circumstances was in that household. And if there was a man who used to live there who might have had a key there,
Yeah.
you might have dated the guy that you were talking about. You know what I mean? Right? He thinks you belong to him, right? And those guys trip out. And for me, I'd rather be safe than
I
sorry.
can't.
I'd rather.
I don't disagree with you.
I'd rather be
TP,
safe than
because
sorry.
I know you right, but
I'm not gonna go to your
There's
crib.
levels to it. Okay.
I'm not gonna go to your
There's
crib.
logical and there's emotional.
Now,
like Steven says.
like for instance, let's just say I'm the dude that let's say
it's tripping out.
I met you, and you know what? You my person. You know what I mean? I love you. I fucking love you, right? And you got that crib over there, but I'm not sure who should be there. I'm gonna move you out. I'm the guy's gonna say, you
If
know
you
what?
about it, yeah,
Yeah.
do that.
I'm
If
saying,
you don't want
what?
to come to my crib because
I'm
you
saying-
scared of my ex have a key, move me out.
I'm gonna say, you know what? Come on, we're gonna find some a sick bay for you. You know what? Because you know what? We're gonna change his zip code.
Can I ask you a question, TP?
What?
What you think about a man being upset that you are like handling your own? And what I mean by that is there was a point in time, I'm putting out my business a little bit, that I had lost my job. And this person I was dealing with knew that I lost my job. And they were like upset. Well, like, because I was still going out with my friends. I know how to maintain, right? And he felt like, well, you didn't ask me for no help. So like, and I felt very disrespected. I cut him off. I said,
Did he offer help?
exactly. And it was almost like, how could you be doing all of these things? I thought you lost your job. And I was like, well, you didn't offer to pay my bills. But like, to me, that came off, one, insecure, and two, it came off, I felt disrespected because I felt like, well, what are you saying about me to feel like I can't maintain myself?
Well,
Or I gotta be getting help from elsewhere.
it's nothing but a conversation, right? See,
But
and-
would you
and-
be
and-
offended by that?
Some
What I-
men
no,
are because they're
I'm-
insecure.
I'm not going to be offended by that. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I believe in transparency, and I'm going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I believe in it's me for you, you for me, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you see a woman with me, she about it, I'm about it.
I had something to say about our last point.
You know what I'm saying? So guess what? If you lost your job, you know what? I'm gonna make sure you all right. You know what I mean? Because that's what a man's supposed to do. That's what a man's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? He gonna make sure you all right. You good? What you need? You know what I'm saying? I got you. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure you good till you get back on your feet. Because guess what? It might be me the next time. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to have my back. So I'm gonna lead by example. That's what a man does. He leads by example. Now, if he a bullshit motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, and he's selfish, then he gonna be in his feelings. He gonna think, oh, she didn't ask me for nothing. Oh, somebody else is doing it for her. No, well, if you didn't step up and she gotta do what she gotta do, shut up.
Right.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? If you all have that type of relationship, it's a no-brainer. You know, it's just like, listen.
So before y'all was talking about staying over people's house, you said you don't like when guys say they're not sleeping over. You said you would never sleep at a woman's house.
And I said I hate when guys.
I feel like having people over and being over other people's house is a liability in every form.
Yeah.
Whether you at my crib or I'm at your crib, it's a liability. I don't know what's gonna happen over here.
Yeah.
Regardless.
You're right.
Regardless.
That
You're
is
right.
true. That's very true.
It's true.
That's why
It's true because, like, you know, men will kick the door open.
I'm gonna tell my girl something.
You know what I mean?
Let me give you 2 incidents. I already had one incident where I was dating this man and I decided I didn't want to date him no more. It was a situation where I left his house in the wee hours in the morning. I said, you know what? My drinks worn off. I'm heading home. Woke up, dipped home. I ain't wake him up because I ain't want to say nothing to him. I decided I was good. This man wakes up, follows me to the crib, right? But had I never let him in my house, that would have never happened. So he didn't follow me per se, but he knew where to pop up and knock on my door.
Mm-hmm.
That's a liability. Had I never had him in my house, that would have never happened. That incident opened my eyes. I said, you know what? Nobody I'm dating, nobody that might go crazy over a little piece of Gucci is ever going to know where I live ever again. That was the first incident. Second, most recently, not so long ago, this man wants to make plans with me to go out. He hits me up. Hey, you want to get together today? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have in mind? He goes, oh, I'll come over to your place and we can throw something together. I said, why would you need to be in my house for us to put a plan together?
Make a plan.
You know? So this
and we already on the
clock.
phone.
You need to clock, like, that don't make no sense. Why would you need to be over here? But I always feel like being in somebody else's home, having them over, is a liability at a certain point. Now, y'all dating for 6 months to a year. Why don't you want to sleep over? Why wouldn't you want to come over and spend some time together?
Well, see,
so that's where I will put a red flag on that. Like, oh, I don't like that you don't want to be here. But
after an extended period of time, when you have investigated and you will have opened up and shared everything about the last woman and the last man and laid all the cards on the table,
and y'all both comfortable with that,
and you're in a comfortable space,
open your door.
You know, I might come over, but I'm not gonna stay because I'm gonna move you out of there.
Okay, that's different. You got an agenda in mind.
The difference between me is, you know what? I'm never gonna be comfortable because I know men who think like that. Like, nah.
Yeah, he got away from her being.
But also, why?
Then he had her door.
Like, if your person, because I think that's the only reason why, because I agree with what y'all saying, but I think the reason why, because me, first of all, I don't operate like that. I don't operate in drama or nothing. That's not gonna happen. You put at my house on drama, you're not gonna have to worry about the man I got in there, because I'm on that,
like,
right? So what I'm saying is, right, why wouldn't you trust the woman that you're dealing with enough to, she like, I don't got nobody who like that about me. Like, I don't got none of that.
I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of women.
I can't be responsible for what he might do.
Right.
I can be responsible for what I think he might do.
But you know what happened? Some people can't say no, right? Some people try to be nice, right? Some people can still want to be cordial with their ex, right?
You're right.
And you know what? Right. You can't be.
You speaking from experience?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
You can't be. You can't be cordial. Drama. You can't be cordial with your ex. You know what I'm saying? Because matter if it's a female,
you can't be cordial with your ex because y'all used to have sex.
You know what I'm saying? You know, but
that's the answer.
But for me, I'm comfortable with my manhood. You know what I mean? I'm different, right?
I'm different. We all different.
Listen,
We
I
all
got the
is
best
one.
in the world. I got the best in the world.
It's not that. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying
No, that's what we.
I don't be tripping about the other guy, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Not every man is logical
You know what I mean?
like that.
But when the woman still, even though she respects you, right? But she still wants to play.
I'm gonna leave
You-
the
like-
door open.
Yeah.
Leaving the door open.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's like.
That's
Because
my respect.
And that's on boundaries.
but you know what? What I'm saying is, you know, every now and then he still send a text, he'll call and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
That's where the shit get dangerous at. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when he feels that you in a serious relationship with another dude, and he feels like I can't come, I'm not gonna be able to come back.
Because that's when they go to
that's-
the
when they
edge.
head
That's-
go
That's when they
crazy.
get on
That's when he goes crazy.
Twitter fingers.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I'm
when
saying?
they get on
That's
DDG.
that's when he go crazy.
This girl
You know, because guess
is
what?
the fuggliest.
Yeah.
That's
So
when they
so
get
so
like
so
that.
that's why you know what?
You popped up at somebody's house before TP?
I ain't never gonna do nothing like that.
Never.
Not
Not when
crash
you was
outs.
young. Not when
Never.
you was little.
Never.
None.
Maybe
Yeah.
some people age out of crashing out, and
Yeah.
we don't age out
And
of
some
it.
people
I can
never
crash out
crash
right
out.
now. TP, I know you could too, but you didn't train yourself to understand the consequences of
I'm a
crashing out. We
father's
don't weigh the values of crashing out.
I'm
It
just
don't
saying,
make
no,
sense.
I'm not talking about now. I'm just talking about like back in his day. Like you
I-
ever?
I'm
you
No,
my
but I'm only
father's
saying that because I'm
son.
saying
No.
at some point you learn that crashing out ain't it.
No, because let me tell you something. My oldest brother, something like him, right? Everything bad that I know is I learned from my brother, right?
Don't
And-
put that on him.
And my no,
Like, he's
I'm
proud.
truthful.
I think they're proud of it.
And my pops was Superman. So I grew up watching my father treat my mother a certain way, right? So I learned a lot about relationships looking at my mother and my father. You know what I'm saying? Right? And then my brother, being a womanizer, playboy type of dude, I watched what he did. My brother, my oldest brother, and my cousin, they were my idols. You know what I mean? Because all the women liked them. You know, there was something about them dudes, they, you know what, they had it good. But they would still enlighten me. They would tell me stuff. Don't do that. He would point different dudes out. Look at this.
I thought you figured that out on your own. I was
No.
like, how you figured out that wasn't the type of dude you wanted to be though?
No, because
Because some guys will see that and fall
Well,
into it, and some guys will see that and be like, "That's not."
I
what I'm
knew
trying to be like.
I knew I didn't want to be like my brother. I knew I didn't want to be that way. But education ain't free. I'm a sponge. So I absorbed everything from my father. I absorbed everything from him.
Owns your own.
And you know what? That made me the best man I could be. You know what I mean? Because now I know how to navigate, tiptoe through the tulips. You know what I'm saying? So I know that there's a lot of guys who think women are their property. You know what I mean? And my brother was the first one who told me, don't ever go into a woman's house. Don't stay there. Because guess what? That last dude,
He be watching from the bushes across the street.
he parked across the street. He down
Yeah.
the block.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
women will outgrow a man. You know what I'm saying? Very soon, easily.
Yeah, we will cut them off quick, but that emotional hold be on them longer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he'll think he's okay with the breakup now, and when
Yep.
he finds out you're with a new man,
And especially,
Hell yeah.
especially if
so
he's
who's really
a
fragile?
street dude. You know, like if he really ain't got his shit together, and now you're dating a guy that he view as an L7. right? Now he look at the
You said an L7?
Yeah.
What's an L7?
square. You know?
Yeah, the Futures and the Russells. That's what
There
I'm saying.
you go. So
Everyone thinks Russell's
so
a square,
You
but
knew what
Future
else
wants to be
was?
him. I put two and two together.
So-
I didn't know exactly, but that's
so I was an L7 growing up. But anyway,
a good guy. The good guy.
but so now Crunchy Black see you dating an L7, right? Because you know went
Crunchy
downtown
Black.
and got you a job and
Okay.
shit. You know, you got your little corporate job and shit. So now you know met a guy. He wearing his wing tips and shit. He got a little suit and shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This dude got the latest Jordans on and he diddy bopping and he smoking. He
Did he probably go crazy?
he puffing that thing. You know what I mean? He tied in the skin on the frame. because that's my wife. That's how he see you. And look at this cornball L7 ass. He is going to form Voltron.
Let's go back real quick. We were talking about there's one in every example. Cardi and Stephon. Offset went crazy that weekend. You see how out with him.
He was
DDG and Halle. Twitter was talking about how she was with her co-star, and he went crazy because that boy is, good clean cut, decent boy who she should be with and who he wants to be like, but he could never because he don't got the equipment.
But guess what?
But
the dude that's different, right? He's gonna come try to thug the new guy. He's gonna try to come punk the new guy and scare him away.
He gonna try, but
they always try.
If the new guy is truly him, which they usually are, because the quiet guys, the ones who don't say much, they really about it. I know Russell would take Future down for Sierra. I know.
I like that we're talking about the men right now, but I just gotta say, like, at a certain point, when, you gotta be allowing this though as a woman.
We said that though.
Yeah.
We lower our standards because the pickings are slim.
No, not that. I'm talking about if you with this new guy and your ex is coming around harassing him, that's because you making him feel like he could do that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Like true crime.
That's
not making them feel nothing.
Sometimes
they're wired.
Sometimes
it's you crazy.
Sometimes
no
women will try to be nice to them dudes to keep them in a safe place out of fear. To keep them in a safe place.
Oh man, if you're in a fearful situation,
but that's what we're saying. Sometimes it's not always a matter of we're entertaining him and still being nice to him. We're trying not to have him kicking my door down at 3 a.m. because I think if I say to him, look, we're over, I'm with this new guy now, he's gonna off himself or off me. Some women feel like that.
I don't disagree. I just.
But I'm telling you that's real good because like for instance for me, that's
why profiling is important. I think in dating, profiling is very okay. You profile that man. You judge him based on what you can see.
But you have to ask the right questions, right? And you know what? As a woman, as a man, right? If you're going to get in a serious relationship with somebody, right? Don't move him into your place.
Never.
Don't you move in his place,
Never.
right? Y'all go get a new place together. That's y'all place. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it.
I got my own theories about living together.
Okay.
You know I mean? We ain't even got
We're very modern millennial over here.
Yeah,
I'm separate home in it.
Yeah, well, you can do that too. But what I'm saying to you is,
you can have a room, a drawer.
When you want to separate live like that, when you
open the door for other things, but
when you get with a guy who is on top of his game, right? He ultimately wants to spend his life with you, right? He's not going to want you to have your own place.
You're right. In an ideal situation, that probably wouldn't even work.
And that would bring him back to the spot of, you know what, I'm not going to your crib because I don't know who goes over there. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to respect you because if that's what you want, you can have that. But if you're but if you're adamant about that, right? If you even if I moved you and you got your own place, right? But you want to live separately, if you're my person, and
I'm gonna think it's the backdoor access I don't have knowledge of.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So then that is going to plant the seed of doubt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So if you gonna plant the seed of doubt, right?
Let me tell you something.
You are going to destroy your own relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because when a man has made up his mind that he ain't playing no more, right? He looking for his person. He found his person. There's nothing he won't do for you. Because guess what? There's no greater trophy in a man's life than his woman and his car, right? You know when a man flips on a woman? When she does something stupid.
That he thinks is stupid. That's outside of his standard of a wife.
When she hurts his feelings.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
She does something unwifely.
When she hurts his feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? When a man meets you, what does he do? He has to convince you that he's the best thing since sliced bread. Right? And when he meets you, ain't nothing he won't do for you. You know what I'm saying? Until you do something to lose your edge. if you on top of your game and you never lose your edge, you probably gonna get married.
Sound more to me like it's better to stay single, TP. That's
Well,
what you just convinced me of.
Well, guess what?
Because you like, if you on top of your game, you never lose your edge. But at the same time, men preach all the time about how you gotta stay down, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. If you was just saying, oh, but if I go broke one day, I will hope that you would this, that, and third. No, but that's insane. Like, it's not insane. It's not insane because everybody has standards. But
you're not thinking past go here.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm thinking very much past go because
based
it's
on
like
what you said. I don't think you realize that when it comes down to like a committed marriage, even precursor to marriage type relationship, you gotta be mad mature and be willing to think outside of the boxes you've been thinking of as a single person forever.
Right. You have to change. You have to change that stinking thinking.
Because
you have to stop thinking.
To think that
no, I'm talking about he said if you do something stupid, right? Because he's saying if you do something stupid, if you hurt his feelings, right? That's what he said, and then he said. You gotta stay on top of your game at all times. So what you're saying is the woman can't mess up. She can't hurt his feelings one time. She can't fall off her game at no time. That's how you just explained it. Or you're gonna lose your man. Which is insane to say because as women, we are expected to be there for a man's lowest lows to get to the highest highs. So to say that a woman can't fumble once. She can't hurt your feelings once and you will never come back from that.
You know what?
It sounds more to me like it's more trouble than it's worth. I'm not saying that that's my view in life, but how you're explaining it to me, I respect see why people think it's more trouble than it's worth.
I respect
because that's crazy.
I respect you because
what is it worth to you though?
I respect you.
Is it trouble?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I respect what she's saying, right? Because she's so much younger. She got so much more living to do, right? So from where she's at in her life, you know what? More power to her. She's got her vision on being that strong, solid woman, you know, and in control.
It's being a strong, solid woman. It's about having standards for myself. It's about not
But what I'm saying,
chipping away at myself and what I want to be able
to
say
that
I'm
thin
married.
line between compromising and chipping away. That's why I said.
But he just said there's no compromising.
Because
he just said you
men don't date.
You can't hurt. You know how many times women get their feelings hurt as a
men.
wife?
Let me tell you something. Men don't date looking for a girlfriend.
They're qualified. I mean,
a man. Men date looking for a wife. You think men
who have any substance to them and are worth anything?
You think men really want to keep dating? Like, you think men really want to keep dating? Mm-hmm. You think everybody want to be?
As their bodies start to get older and their knees start.
No. It has nothing to do with the failure of their body. When a man meets you, he is looking for a wife. Can she be the one? Is she my person? And when you find your person, you wife her. You know what I'm saying? And you do everything for her that she needs to do. You know, he gonna buy you the house you want. He gonna do all those different things for you. And all you gotta do is let him be the man. You have to be independently dependent. You know what that means? Women control the relationship. Y'all control the relationship. All y'all have to, because no matter what a man does, he runs it by his woman. You know what I mean? He won't do shit without checking with you, right? If you pay attention. And all you got to do is tell him what you want. He gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because, and that's some old school shit. Women that was independently dependent. My mother was independently dependent, right? She just let my father think he made the decisions. My mother knew exactly what she wanted. If she wanted to get a new car, she said she would go pick out the car she wanted. And she would tell me she wanted to get a new car. He would say, "Nah, we just got that car 2 years ago. We don't need another car." You know what I'm saying? Give her another week or so. He gonna be taking his ass down to the car dealership, signing the papers, and getting her a new car. Because her being independently dependent, she worked him and convinced him
feel like he doing something.
that he made the decision to get the car. But he did to please her. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lost art.
And that's men who want to be husbands.
I don't think that's what I think. I see that in any happy relationship I see. Everybody. I mean, I feel like it's common knowledge to know that.
But what I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is,
play that role.
What I'm telling you is, when men meet you,
you can't be. I want to live.
Y'all keep mixing two things because you keep saying like about the subservient role of post marriage, but you were just talking about dating and pre-marriage.
I'm telling you, that's the goal of a man.
All right,
when we meet you, we're looking for a wife.
We're talking about.
We're looking for a wife. We're looking for a wife. It's your husband
that's buying you
the
car.
He's looking for somebody to do that
looking for a wife. Men are looking for a wife.
Women have to be.
You know what?
That I guess.
So
right.
That's why when women push back,
if they already want to do that,
when women push back and they take this modern day approach on things, that's
can I give a quick example, right? The same way that Future can't be the husband is the same way I can't be the independent woman that wants to live by herself and be the wife that a husband is doing everything for. I can't play both roles. So if I'm gonna say I want a commitment in marriage and even in a long-term relationship where I want my man to be ABC for me, I'm gonna also have to play a role for him. I don't think it's fair to say that.
But I never disagreed with that though. I don't know why it's like I disagree with that.
TV's pipeline is men want to do this for women, but women also have to be certain things for a man. So I just gave the example. In the same way that the guy that's Future is not going to be the guy that's the husband that's putting you in the house, that's buying you the cars and taking care of the kids, the same way that the wife is not going to also be the independent girl that wants to be in her own apartment all the time and doesn't want to share.
Right, but when he was talking about that, he wasn't talking. Okay, so what he said specifically was when you start dating someone, right? And we were talking about fresh dating, you were talking about not inviting people to your houses and things like that. So in my head, I'm thinking we're talking about fresh dating. So if we're fresh dating and you're like, I'm never coming to your house and whatever like that, or you're gonna move her out of the house.
Well, see.
If we're fresh dating and you don't want to come right to my house,
that's what I'm saying. You're never ever
went there.
Fresh dating, right? We're gonna go out on the
guy that's a husband is looking to take you out of that situation. He's gonna take you over because I don't trust your living situation.
He's gonna take you. He's gonna take you out of that. I'm gonna move you out that situation.
And we're gonna live together.
And that's the first sign that a woman should say, you know what? He didn't come. He changed my zip code.
Here's the thing though. I can't expect that a guy's gonna look at my situation and say, oh, I'm not coming over here because I don't know what your ex is like. Let me put you in a new apartment that he don't live in with me. I think that's what modern women are expecting is that he gonna move me out of there because he don't feel safe.
But I don't think modern women are expecting.
But we're not together.
I don't think that modern women are expecting for him to move her out. Period. I think that was.
But a man that's a husband would be looking to do that.
A lot of men that's looking for a wife. Most men are looking for a wife. And I'm rephrasing it saying men that's looking to be a husband. Right.
I'm rephrasing it.
Right. Exactly.
Because
from a woman's perspective, right.
That's your choice to want to be a husband.
Right. Right. Exactly.
If you see a wife in me, I will see if I see a husband in you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's the way it works. Because that's what most people get twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when a man scopes you out and he notices that you are an extreme dater,
I think.
Right?
Well, you still haven't answered that question for me.
You
still haven't answered
rules to that though.
It
could be whatever your rules are. I think you're an extreme dater.
I asked him his opinion.
You know what? Casual dating is one thing, you know.
Committed dating is another thing. I'm gonna give you another quick example. I got a friend that I know since middle school. We're the same age. He just called me last week because he's thinking about proposing to his girlfriend. They've been together 4 years. He's thinking that we're getting to that age where we should be looking into marriage, and he's considering, do I want to do that? Do I want to do that with this person? What does that look like? Whatever. But the things he's thinking about is things that you have to think about when you're looking into that type of situation, because I don't think that's as surface as, okay, I'm gonna date you, but if I don't like you, we could break up. If you're thinking about being in a long-term marriage commitment the way it's supposed to be, you got to think the things people tell us all the time. Am I gonna like this person every day? Can I still love you even when I don't like you? What happens on the days you get on my nerves? What happens when I see people outside that I find attractive that I want to have sex with?
So just like you just said, can I still like you when I don't love you? I'm taking that back to what TP said about when he saying all of these things, that was the point that I'm making. I'm not talking about not being subservient to your man, whatever, not being an intimate woman. He's saying, as a woman, men do all of the scoping, right? We all agreed that men make the decision of marriage, right? Because we ain't getting on a knee. We're not getting on a knee, period.
Right.
So
they're
they're
qualifying.
But he's saying, to be a wife, you can't hurt his feelings. You can't this, you can't that, you can't that. And but you just said the whole, I forgot the exact.
Yeah, my point is.
So that's what I'm saying is, how can,
there's
on the one hand, it's like,
qualifiers.
as dating, it's at, you're expected
You making it too black and white.
I'm not being. I feel like that's a big gray area. I feel like you guys are trying to make it black and white.
No.
There's qualifiers when you're dating.
We're not making black and white. You know what I'm saying?
All right, my friend's standards for why he's thinking about making this girl his wife is different than what TP standards might be for why he's thinking about.
Right, but I'm talking about what
wife.
he's saying specifically, and I'm talking to. We're having a conversation, so I'm responding exactly to what he said.
But he's not saying, "Oh, a man is not going to marry you if you hurt his feelings one time through y'all 4-year relationship." That's not what he's saying.
See, listen. When you have when you have that open relationship where you communicate with each other, right? Everybody's gonna make some mistakes, right? At the end of the day, relationships and marriages is business. Because guess what? You young and tender today. You beautiful, you pretty, right? But all that's gonna fade as you get older, right? You're gonna put on some weight. Everything that's standing up gonna drop down. He gonna put on some weight. He gonna lose his hair. You gonna lose your hair. All the vanity things are going to change, right? Can he still love you? Can you still love him, right? Can you still be partners and do business together? Relationships are business. It start out one way, but at the end, I love you. You my partner. You my life partner. You my wife. And all that other stuff don't matter. The vanity stuff don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I think that's
why you have to be able to communicate, because guess what? Are you going to make some mistakes along the way? Absolutely. We're human. Am I going to make some mistakes along the way? Absolutely. But long as we can communicate with each other and apologize for what we do wrong, you know what I mean? And let nothing and no one come between us, we're going to win.
I think the point is that it's deeper than that. Like, the overall theme here is it's deeper than that. It's deeper than just what we look like. Do I hurt your feelings sometimes? Do I do something you don't like sometimes? I think it's deeper than that. Like, if you're going further into like marriage and that commitment before God and your families and all of that, you got to think about the stuff my friend was saying to me. Like, is this somebody I could actually share my money with? Is this somebody who I want to come home and see her every day? Like, those are the questions. So it's deeper than like, oh, did she get me mad last week?
Is this somebody I want to talk to every day?
Yeah, it's not like, oh, now we breaking up because I don't like the way you said this, and I don't know. Like, the breakup is kind of not an option if you're really thinking about going into marriage the right way. So I think the parameters for that gets deeper. So I don't know. I don't think what TP was saying was a man's not going to marry you if you hurt his feelings one time. I think a man's qualifiers for a relationship is different, but men are sensitive, and whatever might hurt his feelings. If I go into a function with a guy and he thinks I'm too friendly because 4 out of 5 guys in there that said hi to me, he might have disqualified me already. That's nothing to do with me. That's his qualifier. I'm too social. I'm too friendly. Too many people know me. That's not cool for him. But somebody else might see that and say, oh, wow, she's popular. People like her. Cool. I want to be with that person.
Let me tell you something, right?
It's subjective.
Men communicate with each other in particular ways with women, right? See,
you be so vague. I think that's why we're mad at you.
No,
I'm not mad. I just
you be so vague. Give me examples.
I'm about to give you an example.
Like, yeah.
Right? Like, let's say we go to your neighborhood, to your neighborhoods, right? Your old neighborhoods,
I'm there.
Right?
Yep.
Right. And I'm dating you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know nothing about your neighborhood.
Okay.
Right. But the guys in your neighborhood who know you, they are going to speak to you. So they're from your neighborhood and they speak to you. I'm not going to feel
I don't know for 15 years. Okay.
I'm not going to feel no way about that.
All right.
Right.
When do you start feeling away? When which guy says what? How?
When they start giving you the Jay-Z head nod.
That don't got nothing to do with me.
It has nothing to do with you. But
Why you mad at me? Because
I'm not mad with you.
Like,
It's the way men communicate with each other to say, you know,
I didn't hear her before.
I remember her. You know what I'm saying? Like they give that little smirk.
If that's how you gonna move, don't ask to come back to my hood. Don't ask to come see my mama. You can't be on the block.
But most men just take it in because some men just do that on GP because they hate.
Okay, how do I know? How do you know when there's a difference?
Listen,
because now you're holding me to that standard. That's what I'm trying to get to the point.
I think that's
listen.
If an insecure man is gonna be insecure, he's gonna be insecure regardless of the situation.
What I'm telling you is we don't know, but this is the things how men communicate shit with women. But only way you can know if it's right is how you respond to them.
No, because however I respond, you already got a theory for that in your head too. So no matter what I do,
not at all, because the man is going to give you the benefit of the doubt. A man is going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
When you're dealing with somebody, when you're dealing with somebody who thinks like a bad terms,
it's not really, and that's when I think that's where the confusion is coming from me. When it's like when we're saying a man who wants to be married, but then everything that he's explaining is like it's like we're fighting. It's like we're fighting against everything. So
you're
it's
not
like,
fighting
does
against
this man
everything
want to be married for real?
Because you know what? You know what he's going to do? You know what he's going to do? You know
we qualify too.
You know what a man does when he do that? He's never going to put himself in that position again, right? Because guess what? He loves you, right? And he ain't worried about your yesterday. Because if you keep worrying about your yesterday, your tomorrow gonna be fucked up.
So how does he not put himself in that position? He don't come back to the hood.
They be better from 16 to 45. They never fall in love again.
You know, it's not that. You know, because now when he come with you to the hood, now he going straight to your mama house.
Why he ain't do that in the
first place?
You know what I'm saying?
Because you took him through the hood. You showing him the hood.
Well, women are also calculated, and I'm sorry, but if I knew this is the man I want to be my husband, I might not have him walking down the block. I might not have him.
That I'm making.
So women have games that
and also, why would any man that I'm looking to be with, in what world would my supposedly husband want to walk through my hood just because I said so?
We're tactful as well. So
you get what I'm saying? And what would if we going to see my mother? And we know we're going to see my mother. Why are we taking a loop through the project?
You shouldn't even want to do that with me. You shouldn't even want to.
He doesn't
allowed us to do that.
He don't want to do that, but he don't know your mother lived. You're taking him, so he's following you.
Okay, so you got to walk through the hood. So that means you got to walk through the same hood every time we go to my mother's house. So what do you mean he can't do it next time? If my mother lives in the back building, we got to walk through here every time we go to my mama's house. So now he got to see these same head nod dudes every time.
Yeah, and how I know whether or not he's finding one of them legitimate is on his own rules. Oh, he nodded to the left, so he nodded to the right, so he did it.
Well, now you going behind my back, and now you going behind my back to go that fact check me.
Yes, and that never works out right because you know what? In those situations, it's either a situation of where he's already looking for a reason to not be with you, he's gonna find one, or two.
I think that's the point that I'm trying to.
Yes, it's like boom, and this is what I'm saying about when you're thinking about relationships, you got to think more maturely. It can't be every little thing you see is going to be a reason. Everything can't be a reason. You know what I'm saying? But if you're looking for a reason, you're going to find it.
Thank you. And I kind of felt like that's what it was.
And our age group knows because I think people our age and younger are immature when it comes to trying to navigate mature relationships, which is why the future of Russell Wilson pipeline keeps happening. But aside from that, I feel like we're immature in terms of what we qualify as okay or not okay. You
gotta coin that.
What? Hell yeah, that would be the title of this nice episode. I feel like even with I forgot. But
sorry. You said you gotta learn how to navigate that.
Yeah, I feel like our generation standards of relationship rules is so low. Like we be mad if he be liking other girls' pictures on Instagram. Did you? If you knew what was up, if you knew anything about, if you knew, you would know that 75% of Instagram users are men. They go there because they're visual creatures and because women pay to get their pictures liked and commented on. So you can't be mad at that, but that'll be a reason for us to disqualify a guy. Oh, he be liking pictures. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not mature ways of thinking about navigating a relationship and a commitment. You can't want to disqualify somebody because Like, yeah, the way they dress, absolutely a standard. The way they talk, absolutely a standard. How they carry themselves, a
I
standard.
would say though,
but the rules
there's
are just so
levels to
surface.
social media too,
It's surface.
because I think the reason why we feel like the way we navigate social media and relationships is immature is because it's never been done before. We are the first generation
To
of
really do that.
do it. So there are no rules. We set our rules, and we're all individuals, and we set our rules. So I would beg to differ and to say that when you go in a man's Twitter likes or you go in his likes and you see what he's liking, that says something about him. And no, your social media personality isn't your personality, but if we see somebody liking racist tweets, we will say that says something about them. So also, if you're liking women bashing tweets, red pill masculine tweets, I gotta say that says something about you. If you like it,
I mean, it's unfair to say that someone's digital
level.
footprint does not reflect on them as a person. However,
it just gotta be a
there's
percentage.
levels to maturity in terms of what you're willing to say. I'm not dating
It's
a
a
person
deal breaker.
because it's a deal breaker, and I feel like our generation has. I don't even say looser standards.
We don't have
standards
any. There is no standard. I feel
about
like it's individualized.
Oh, this is okay or this is not okay. Like, again, I'm gonna go back to Love Is Blind because I just watched the episode of that. But this girl, she was mad because she thought that the guy she had matched with was had followed her on Instagram before they got on the show. So she's thinking that he knew what she looked like.
I heard a little bit of that actually,
and that was going to be a big thing. And there was another one where the one girl said that the couple matches, the woman, one of his mutual friends says that they hooked up before the show. Him and the girl hooked up. Now, the guy is running with that, saying like, oh, you hooked up my friend or whatever. But all this is based off of social media digital footprint. But if we're doing what TP says and going back to old school communicating, we should be able to talk about that without it ever having to get past me and you. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about DDJ and Hallie if they had communication styles of mature people enough to navigate a relationship with a child in it. That's a huge relationship caliber right there. It's one thing to be boyfriend, girlfriend, one thing to be fiance, another thing to be husband, wife, but then to be mother, father, that's a whole nother tier.
But I would feel like this generation
jump
holds mother and father
as the first bar to hit, which is crazy.
It's like they're like, oh, we can have a baby, but I'm not marrying you, and it's like,
I lose my breath.
I've seen that on Twitter.
We see it as a
insane amount of times, where it's like marriage is a higher standard than having a child and bringing a whole person, a being, a human.
I think the whole point is men qualify women in certain ways, women qualify men in certain ways. The point is we should all have a standard of dating that we're holding whatever type of person we're looking for to that.
Believe it or not, it used to be a standard of dating.
We know.
Until social network.
Yeah, it got loose.
So social network has
diluted,
changed the game so much.
I beg to differ.
It
because we got a whole lot of grandpas with 4 families. So I don't.
It has changed the methods, not necessarily the practices. Okay, so let's not say that men haven't been having multiple families for millennia. It's now more out in the open. Now Debbie down the street know that Miss Martha got her husband baby up the road. Before it might have been I think so. I'm not sure. I heard rumors. But even then, those women were depending on those men for their money. They were depending on them for their milk for those babies.
So
those things
that's
were
what I'm
different.
saying. So maybe things.
Don't you know that prostitution is they say that prostitution is the oldest thing in the profession, right? And
men been seeing coochie is valuable for millennia.
It's just changed how they sell it now.
But guess what, right? The rates, the percentile of younger women who young women didn't want to be prostitutes, right?
I would agree with that.
Right? Now young women want to be prostitutes, right? And it went up. So, but now based upon what you see on social network, right? And women, when I was younger, they valued their bodies. They valued who they were. You know what I'm saying? So, you had to work your game and spend your change and convince her that you was the dude, right? And all that stuff. So she valued herself. She valued her body and her coochie and everything else. Coochie has no value today based upon social network because
coochie on its own don't.
It has,
But-
right? Because like they are so willing to sell it and give it away for free. You know what I mean? It's sad because I look at so many women, right, on social network, right, and I be saying, sis, why you doing that? Why you have to every day get up and take the booty shot?
Can I ask you a
You post it.
question? How many prostitutes do you know in real life?
That do I know in real life?
Yes.
No, I never entertained a prostitute.
But how many of them do you know?
How do
Friends, family, friends of families, nieces, nephews, nieces and nephews.
I know quite a few that sell their body. If that's what you're asking me.
Personally.
Yes, if that's what you're asking me. I know quite a few. You know what I'm saying? And all the younger ones, social network. And if it wasn't something that was made,
I mean, there wouldn't
common
be a brand of the
and make it
Instagram
seem
baddie
okay.
if it wasn't a thing.
this made it okay. You know what I mean?
I don't
This
want to say
made it
okay because we could say that Las Vegas made prostitution okay. It made it more accessible and more aware of
this
everyone.
made it more accessible because guess what?
Yes. So
People didn't have the
you
startup
didn't make
money.
it okay. It was just that it's more exposure.
You don't
so
need
at some
startup
point
money
it's
to do it here.
immunity. Like
You don't need startup money here.
I remember the first couple of times we seen even like a cleavage on Instagram. I was like, whoa, But now going up there and seeing nipples might be normal because
It's
we've been
normalized.
jaded, like we've
It's
been
like
diluted.
it's just
I
like
wouldn't even say that's jaded though, because other countries treat nudity freely. So
I'm
I
talking
just,
about America. That's never been our standard. Like that's
but
not how
I
we
don't think
operate as
that's
a people.
jaded.
well,
Nudity isn't jaded.
Not
It's-
jaded. Okay, then
it-
what's the
it-
word?
it-
I'm
it-
desensitized to nudity
we
and to valuing a woman's body. That's
You know
another
what?
reason. Another example of that is BBL culture. There's no
Right.
value for a woman's body with BBL culture. It's
No.
turning yourself into a caricature because you think you're supposed to be a certain standard
exactly
based on what you're seeing on the phone. So I
and
would
you know
agree
what? Those
that social media changed
that-
the
that-
methods
that-
of doing things.
that 10% percentile of desirable men in America that all women say they want. The guy that makes six figures, he got to be 6 feet tall, he got to be this, he got to be that, right? And all women want these guys, right? Those are the hardest guys to get, right? They got all the options. They got all the options, right? And those guys do not want those women that have all those things, the BBLs, the breast implants, the lip implants. Those guys in that bracket that all the women aspire to be with don't want that. You know what I mean? Most men that's even in the 20 to 30% percentile don't want the women. I think women have convinced each other that that's beauty. And I think they do it for each other.
We could all bring it back to. We could bring it all back to social media. The standards
Because
have
men don't.
changed.
If you ask
Do
men,
The
women
beauty
run social
standards, the
media?
relationship standards.
Time out. Because how have women convinced each other that? Tell me the social media standards, the Instagram standards again. Tell me the
Instagram baddies.
No, not the Instagram standards. The Instagram men and women percentage.
75% of Instagram users are men. Men
So,
use the app more than women use
I
the
would
app.
beg to differ because he's like, men don't like that, but it's like, who likes it then?
Men like that on their phones. Men don't want to marry that.
right?
The men who want to marry that aren't the same men who are having sex with that. The Zion Williamsons who are having babies with BBL busted OnlyFans porn stars are not the same men who are Russell Wilsons and putting women in houses and having kids with them. It's
Right.
two different calibers of
Right.
people. Like
Right.
there's a separation.
Right.
So like I think that's a fair statement. Those
Right.
people aren't the same people.
They're not the same.
Those men don't want those girls. They like it.
They're going.
Men are visual. They
they'll
want to
look.
see a
they'll
fat.
look.
Okay, first,
They want to
I
see
think
a
we need.
fatty, but they might not want to marry one.
That's right. They don't want it.
Okay.
See,
Okay,
see,
if
let-
TP, you speak
let-
for
let-
men, then
let-
I
let-
guess
let-
you.
Let me explain something to you. They have taken the strip club and brought it into the streets, into the world, right? The strip club was just
But
a
Zion
fantasy.
Williamson baby mother got the bag. What bag?
The strip clubs
Two
was a
bags
fantasy.
behind her.
Men just went to the strip club. That was a fantasy. It wasn't to be. That's not what they
When
wanted.
fantasy became accessible, I think it blurred the lines between reality and
Exactly. Because you know what?
social reality.
But
Just like the
the-
streamer.
What is that?
the
Okay, so
guy-
what
the
does that
guys-
mean for men, though?
the guys would go to the
Okay, so what
strip
does that mean
club.
for men?
They're
and,
lying.
and
we
trick their
brought-
money, and
what
they
does
would
that
go
mean for men?
home.
Since we brought strip club out of the strip club, what does that mean for y'all? What does that mean for men?
What does that mean for men?
Yeah, what does that mean for men?
In my opinion,
It makes it easier for them to see
we
what's going out there.
don't have to tip you anymore. We see it for free now.
We said it earlier though. They don't have to work as hard, and we don't
Right.
have to keep the standard as high.
Right. Because guess what? That guy who went to the strip club and tipped the women and all that, he did that with the fellas. He went home to his wife. You know what I'm saying? And she would probably be the most plainest, Janest type of woman ever. And he loved her, he cherished her, and that's what he wants. And most men want regular. What
Do
you
you
want
not
to
think
eat?
that's true?
Most men want regular.
Do you not think that's true?
You know what I'm saying?
I
From
think
your
that
point of
TP is just making. I think TP is making a lot of broad, generalized statements,
I'm not.
and I think
I'm
that
not.
I do. I said I think. So I think
Okay.
that
Mhm.
TP is making a lot of broad, generalized statements, and I think that while some of it is true,
It doesn't apply to
feel
all
like-
men. It's not like a
and
blanket
I think it
thing.
doesn't apply to all women either.
Nothing we say
and I
is
don't.
blanket
No,
statements, you know what I
so
mean?
It's being said as a blanket statement.
We
ev-
can't
ev-
apply anything as a blanket
everybody,
statement.
everybody's an individual, right?
Okay,
You know,
so
what I'm saying
what I
is,
think.
what I'm saying is, all men aren't the same. All men aren't to blame. Same thing with women. All women ain't the same. All women ain't to blame, right? But what I'm telling to you is, the majority of the men, like me, all right, I'm gonna tell you, like me. You know why?
That's your
I'm
opinion.
gonna tell you, it's my opinion. I'm gonna say the majority.
No, I just like how
The-
you
the-
slipped that in there.
The majority of men who got $2 above lunch money own some shit, got some, fall in that 10 to 25% percentile of desirable men. Only reason why I don't fall in the 20 to 10% because I'm 5'11" and not 6 feet, right? We can probably go out and finesse any woman we want, right? Because we have the working tools. Then we were gonna find love, right? But we have the working tools, right? We going to be desirable. Women will meet us and be like, okay, I'll give them a shot, right? We don't want the BBL girl. We don't want her. We don't like her. Give me regular. I will take flat as a pancake.
You want to marry regular.
Okay,
Right.
but let me,
like
so then,
to
okay, so what's
see-
the question? So my
I'll
question
look
is,
at. I'll
what's
look at it.
wrong with the BBL girl?
Nothing. It's too.
It's just not for
I'm
the
just
same
asking-
guy.
I'm asking a question.
It's too excessive.
It's too excessive, right?
It draws too much attention and it draws negative attention.
Negative attention.
It draws negative attention
What kind of negative attention?
from men. It draws negative attention. Y'all women, some
Sexual
women,
attention.
yeah, you're super sexualized, right? Nobody want to deal with that because if I'm going out with my woman and she half naked and men saying stuff to her,
Oh, so
You know-
you're not saying that it's drawing. You're not saying for the woman it's drawing negative attention. You're saying for the men, the woman is drawing a negative attention for her man that she's out with. Like you
Absolutely.
wouldn't like that.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, because you know what? Now you're walking out. You're in Manhattan. You got all these guys from all over New York.
Gawking at you.
They checking her out. They saying shit, right? And she might be one of them girls who take offense of it and talk shit back. Now you got to defend her honor because now they're gonna talk. They're gonna turn it up, right?
Let's
But
argue
two,
though.
but two, right? It's bringing negative attention to her.
There's a
right.
certain type of guy that wants to be with that. There's a
The-
certain type of
the-
guy that wants to be with a woman who looks like a caricature,
There is.
and that's a
There-
match. Be
there-
with your match. Like
I salute him. I salute. I'm the key thing I said. The guys like me, who got $2 above lunch money and got their shit together.
don't want that.
A guy who never was able to get
Yeah. What about
the
Ice-T?
pretty girl,
He was exactly who I thought of. He likes that.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
he
He got
wants.
$2 above lunch money.
Listen,
He got shit together.
You know what? Because guess what?
What about Ice-T?
He's always dealt with that type of woman because he was a pimp. He was a pimp.
Okay, that was his owe him. He got $2 above lunch
But
money.
what
and
I'm
he got
telling
his
you,
shit together right
where,
now.
where he
As
came,
do.
where he came from, that's what he sold.
And
He
he
was
still
a
married
pimp.
her, and he has a family with her. So
Yeah.
he got the best of both worlds.
Right.
He got his cake and ate it too in that
That's right.
scenario.
But he's a pimp. That's what he sold.
But I think
That's
you
different.
asking what's wrong with BBL girls is not the question. There's nothing wrong with them. It's
Is
just
it-
that
if she likes it, if she likes
I'm
it,
just letting him.
if she
I'm
likes it,
asking rebuttaling questions.
she like it. You know, I love it, right? But she's no good for me. Most men don't want to be seen with a fucking clown.
most men that want a wife don't want a wife.
You know why?
that looks
Because
like that.
the circle I move in, that I do my business in, when I hang a suit and go out, I can't take that with me. Because you know what? All that fakeness right there, she's not going to fit into the wives club. Don't you know that business deals really are decided in most cases by the wives or the girlfriends? The two men can want to do business together, right? And the wives get together, you know, and they talk and chop it up, right? And if she doesn't fit into the wives club, when they go home and they in the bed, they taking off that tuxedo and she taking her gown off and stuff. And he asks, what do you think? You know what the wife says? He's nice, we like him, but we you know, she's not cultured enough. She's not, no. And then they'll point out different things, right? See, everything ain't for everybody, right? And it's not a diss, right? And I've been in places like this before, right? When people aren't cultured, they don't know any better. You have to teach people, right? See, a lot of us chew gum, chew bubble gum, you know, Wrigley's and all that other shit, right? When you're a kid, that's okay. As an adult woman, you chew gum. The purpose of chewing gum is to get the flavor and a taste out of your mouth, and then you get rid of the gum. You don't go into a dinner party or a cocktail party type of thing and you chew gum, right? As a woman, you don't do that, right? In the cocktail hour, you have a cocktail. You're either gonna have a white wine, a red wine, a rosé, or champagne. Got 4 options, right? You don't order Sex on the Beach, Hennessy, all that other stuff, right? These are things that you need to know going in, right? And you also need to be cultured enough to know the difference between the settings on the table. You need to know the difference between the dinner fork and salad fork and all that other stuff and the different spoons and settings and all that stuff, right? And you need to be up on current affairs. Your conversation need to be right. But first things first, make sure you got no gum in your mouth, right? And a man, woman is his partner. When I say it's his partner in every aspect of his life, right? So when you take the wrong woman who BBL'd, right, and all that other stuff, ain't nothing wrong with the weave, right? But you have to have the right weave. You can't get the one that your friend did in the kitchen, right?
Unless she did a great job and she's a hairstylist, you know.
But if she can give you the Janet Jackson weave, you good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be put together, right? Because
that's standards though.
But right.
But you got to have a standard to know a standard to
right.
know what you're looking for.
But sometimes, but you have to have the spiritual intuition when somebody's trying to teach you and show you something, right? So you can have that, so you can become cultured. Because what happens in so many circumstances is now when you go to these different events, right, with these wealthy men or these men that's, you know, got $2 above lunch money and they making deals and all this other stuff, right? It's the wives that decide who does business.
But just like with the car, you said you just make him feel like it was his decision, but
Right.
really,
Same thing. It's the
you
wives,
know.
right? So what happens sometimes? The wife thinks like, no, she's not one of us. You know what I mean? And it be those little things that I just mentioned that will make the
It's
difference.
the WAGs thing, wives and girlfriends, like, you know, are celebrities. Like they have a little club and they will include or eliminate
the
based
wives
on
club.
what they think their
Yeah.
standards of
Yeah.
wifery to this player
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with everybody having their own standards and rules
Like,
of dating.
You know,
but
I know a particular athlete, right, who owns a lot of fast food restaurant chains, and he's got a lot
Shaq.
of. No, I'm talking about Shaq. It's another guy. He owns a lot of fast food chains. Got a lot of businesses. He got a whole lot of stuff. Right?
Yeah.
He's doing good, right?
Mhm.
And he loved his childhood sweetheart. She's a ghetto girl. You know what I mean?
That for them.
And you know what? She's you know, hand on the hip, finger in your face type of girl.
Mhm.
You know, talk that talk, right?
Yeah.
But he convinced her that in order for me to do business, I need you to fall back. I got you. You
Mhm.
good. And whenever he goes out, he got the same woman on his arm. That's not his wife, right?
It's his agent.
And she's an attorney, right?
Mm.
And I forget what she does, but she's been going everywhere with him since he got out of the NBA. And most people think that's his wife, but it's not his wife.
And that's on public image.
That's public image because
I
his
don't think
wife,
there's nothing wrong with saying
his-
you want a certain type of public
his-
image
his-
for your partner or for yourself.
his wife wasn't qualified to help him make the deals. And she wears a diamond ring, and they
And that might not sound nice to hear.
and people
That
think
might not sound nice
that's
to
his
hear.
fiance. They think that's his fiance.
That might not sound nice to hear, but at the end of the day, I think to ignore the fact that everything is based on an image and an impression and a look is like just a lie.
I think it's a contradiction because earlier we said that we should have the standard to not bring somebody in a room that you're not proud of. That
Right.
you should be able to bring them to your corporate job. So if
Right.
you as a celebrity and you're closing business deals
Right.
and you feel like you can't or you didn't choose the person or you're not proud enough to walk into the person and defend that person, or you don't even want to put the time in to make that person
So he
fit your image. And if she doesn't
Okay.
want to change, then I
Wait,
feel
wait,
like that goes
let
back
finish,
to
let
the
finish,
same
let
that makes
finish.
sense what you're saying. That makes sense what you're
And
saying.
I feel like that goes back to that because if we can't even walk into our corporate job lunch with
But
with
then-
the Pele, then why?
What if he loves her as Amy from the block and not want to make her into corporate, be my corporate wife
the
and
thing
show
is
these
this.
events with me, but also him being on his caliber doesn't fit with her way of carrying herself. I don't
Right.
think that's
Well,
unfair to say.
Well, see,
But asking her to change that, is that the best option?
I didn't say he had
What-
to change it.
no,
I said
what it
that
is,
just
though-
earlier. We said that you shouldn't even be looking at someone who you can't bring in that room with you.
but like
So
I said,
how did that even?
that,
if we are
that was
holding
his childhood
ourselves to that
sweetheart who he been with
standard,
forever.
He
But-
was with
but-
her before he was on the caliber.
And then back to what we said
what I'm saying-
earlier, we
what I'm
got to
saying
grow
to
out
you
of
is
that
this.
16, 17. You can't be holding on to your childhood sweetheart just because
What-
it's your childhood sweetheart.
What I'm,
That's on
here's-
growth. So like, it is a double-edged sword.
Let me drop this little ditty on
Ultimately.
you, right? A lot of these athletes aren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, right?
They were
So-
good at sports.
So right, so they have very little opportunities after sports, right? To keep the money coming in because that money goes away fast. You can have $100 million and in 5 years, that shit's gone. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you got to pay taxes on that house you live in and all sorts of stuff. So what happens is, in order for them to keep money coming in, they have to network with certain people that's going to plug them in. You know what I mean? So there's sometimes you have to make decisions and sacrifices to maintain your legacy.
Yeah, like I think it's unfair to say that he should have left his wife because she no longer fit into his image of who he was becoming as a professional athlete. I'm not saying it's that black and white.
That was a joint decision that she made that they made together.
So at the end of that, it's not about like,
So do you
Oh, he
got would you
wanted her
guys
to
say he
change.
settled?
no.
He didn't
I'm
settle.
asking
He
a
wasn't
question.
on. I don't
I'm
think he
just
was on.
asking.
No, because he wasn't on his level of. Let's say the level was just money. Let's say the level was just money. When they were dating, he wasn't a millionaire. Now he's a millionaire. Now he's doing millionaire things. He got to go to business meetings with other millionaires. He got to show up a certain way with other people in that financial bracket. Let's say it's just money. He knows, respectfully, bringing her in certain rooms might fuck up his money. That don't mean he don't love her.
So he outgrew her.
But she's
and-
his partner.
How?
It's gonna fuck
How
up-
is that your partner if you
She's
you just
his
said
partner.
marriage and relationship is a business deal.
It-
You just
If
said
they
that.
both
You said,
know me being around is gonna
what
mess
that-
up the
but-
deal, and I'm
I-
not gonna be around for that. That's a partnership. We agree
I
on
said
that.
that's a
together.
partner. They're partner.
But how, right? How do you choose someone for your like we just said?
No, bro.
Your
This is
person
a
is-
scenario that
This is we're picking, we're setting standards for ourselves. This is what we're saying. Everyone's standard is everyone's standard. But if we're saying the standard is that we're supposed to be growing and we're supposed to be doing better and we're supposed to be proud of the people we're walking in the room with, why shouldn't he be proud to walk, even if she is ghetto? Why shouldn't
Guess
he be
what?
proud to walk
Can I
into
tell you
that
something?
room with
It's
his
not
wife?
about being proud,
The
Victoria. It's about
CEO
being smart.
does not walk the factory
If
floor.
the business is, if the marriage is business and he's the breadwinner and he's a millionaire, and they have agreed that her image, whether that's she likes to wear her hair a certain way or she likes to do her nails, whatever her image is, to other people that are gonna benefit him, which is gonna benefit them, they've agreed
Because
she
they're
won't be around to
partners.
potentially mess that up.
She is his
They agree on her not
partner.
being around together, and that's
That's
our
a-
marriage.
That's their
Okay.
marriage. It's based on that.
I mean,
That's
if
a
that
joint decision
is-
they
It's
made.
not
I
a
don't
shame
know.
thing.
No,
it's to
it's
be
not.
smart about our
I'm just
transactions
saying
thing.
that
Right.
that is
That's what a marriage and a business.
different tune from what
Agreement
we were
is.
saying earlier.
No, it's the
I
same.
don't think it's
It's
different.
the
I think
same
what it comes
sandwich.
down to is at the end of the day, it's on the two people in the relationship.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
yeah.
might think she's ghetto and she looks crazy, and we don't understand why he's with her. Example: DDG and Hallie. We thought he was dusty, and we understand why she was with him. And we can say that about any relationship, but let's say that Hallie and DDG had a relationship where it was, look, I'm gonna be America's princess, the Little Mermaid, and you're gonna be my quiet, stay-at-home baby daddy. Don't embarrass me in public. That could have went great, but there wasn't an agreement there because he let his emotions get the best of him because they're not in a mindset to think maturely about this might not be what we want, but it's what's best for us as a couple. I think that's what marriage is down to. You can't just let the surface level things be like, oh, this is it. This
You know
is it.
something?
We can't be together because this is it. Like,
This is
that's
good.
what I mean. I don't think we
This is good.
like.
This is good.
I know I'm not ready for those conversations.
It's
I'm
good.
ready for the conversation, but I'm not ready for that decision
Yeah.
because I see people that's done it, in it, thinking about doing it, not there yet, and they're all at different stages. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, are you really ready for what you say you're ready for?
Yeah.
I had a homegirl that my cousin. She was saying she was ready for a man that was ready to make her his wife and and put her up in the house and all this. They started dating a couple weeks. My boy said, "Are you ready to stop smoking and stop drinking? Because I'm ready to put a baby and a wife, and I'm ready to have a family. Are we really ready for the things we saying we're ready for?" That's questions to be asked.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Listen.
So you can't be immature like
You
with
gotta.
stuff like that.
You have to have the conversation. You got to ask
But
the
you gotta
hard
be
questions.
equipped to talk about things
You
like
got
that.
to. You got to be ready
Because
because guess what?
it's hard stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Guess what? You have to be ready and in that space.
And in this, I will say it for them. It might be more trouble than it's work part, like you were saying. It's work. When they say marriage is work, nothing about it is light and fun and airy. Like
I don't
you
think
have
marriage
somebody
is more
there,
trouble
but
than it's work. And I don't think it's not work. I was just speaking on in terms of the things he listed off, when he listed off, and how they listed them off. We know marriage is work. Relationships to get to the marriage is work.
and that's my whole
not-
point.
Right.
You have to think differently
But
to
we can all have
navigate.
differing opinions on that. I'm not
Sure.
saying that it's not work. I'm just expressing my opinion, and it might be different.
Name of y'all show, in my opinion.
Yeah,
There it is.
yeah,
That's dope.
true.
I'm gonna tell you, this was great stuff here. This
Yeah.
was good
I
stuff.
don't know. I just
This was good stuff. This was good stuff. This was good stuff.
TP, you
hey,
got us here late.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
got us
chatted.
here late.
But we said
It-
we could talk about relationships all
it-
day
It was so
We
good.
said that before
because
we got in here.
It was so good. You know what I mean?
because
And look,
it's one of those
listen,
things.
I let y'all do y'all. Y'all did y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all did y'all.
You did us with us.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
You did us with us.
Yeah, I joined in. You know.
What? We
You get the
We gotta
you
do
get the
a little-
thoughts flowing.
once every
That's
couple
for
of
sure.
It was good. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed this.
Have a TP
We
segment.
got a lot to think about. Every time we talk, I be thinking about stuff after this. Cause like,
Yeah. That was some good stuff though. But you know, let me tell you something though. Y'all have to think past go. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? I think that y'all are top tier women, right?
Thank you.
And I think that-
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I think that
Love that.
there is men out there looking for y'all, right? And y'all look for them too, right?
Yes.
But you have to
We do.
use discernment and pay close attention.
Remember
Your
that was our word
discernment
last
turned
week.
on.
Discernment.
You know what I'm
Yep. Is your
saying?
discernment on?
You know, and you have to ask the right questions. Don't get caught up on the vanity. Don't get caught up on that vanity because the vanity gonna jack you up every time.
It's gonna fade at some point.
You know what I mean? Because guess what? She gonna get fat.
Yeah.
She gonna get ugly
But
and
listen,
anything else. But I still love her. And guess what? We ain't gonna burn the house down. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna be my business partner. And we're gonna create some generational wealth. And grandbabies gonna be good. Everybody gonna be good. You know
if
what I
y'all both
mean?
thinking like that.
Yeah. Well, the mindset you have to be
So, 100%.
your mind got to be right because like I tell you something. Like with my son, when he come around me, my sons, and they would come and talk about women. The first thing I would ask him is, "Is mind right?" I don't want him, but don't tell me how pretty she is. Is her mind right? Where her mind at? You know what I mean? Because we know what we could do. Hell, I'm my father's son. You my son. So guess what? I watch my father. You watch me. We gonna do things.
Or
Is
at
her
least
mind
you have
right?
intentions of doing things. I don't know. I think a successful relationship is two intentional people on a common goal.
Absolutely.
Something off at some point between one of y'all, whether it's the beginning thoughts, the middle thoughts, or the end thoughts. If at some point we get out of alignment, it's not gonna work. And
Yeah, but
it take deep thought to
But-
get to that point.
every now and then you fall off your scale. You square, right?
Mature.
But you know what? It's nothing but a conversation.
Yes.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
you have
And it's
committed,
important for you to not be a part of a plan to get rid of your man.
Interesting.
See, because everybody want to see you do good, but not just as good as them. So you got to pay attention to the joke. The truth lies within the joke, right? And the pickings are so slim. The jealousy is real.
We know we out here.
When you got a good man in your life, and this is more prone for women. You got a good man in your wife. All them other women talk about she lucky.
You don't think men do the same?
Men do it, right? But men don't
It's just different methods.
Commiserate.
Same practice.
Most men don't commiserate.
What do that mean?
You know, put shit in the game.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
Stir the pot, you mean?
yeah.
Okay,
They just be mad. They just be hating. You know what I'm saying? Men just be mad.
The modern man, as we have seen, will stir the pot.
Well, maybe, but see, women will convince you that he ain't the one for you. You know what I'm saying? They will try to drag you out to create a division between you and the man that's trying to be your husband. You know what I mean?
Well, this is another theme of a mature relationship. Don't let your girlfriends know what's going on in your marriage.
That's true.
Guru
That's
says
true.
that.
But
And it's not because they're not your friends. It's because
Right.
they don't know what's going on for real.
Yeah, but I listen.
A
I
therapist.
tell
That's what
everybody.
my marriage will need. A pastor and a therapist.
I tell everybody.
Okay.
You know, hell, I tell my lady that don't be part of the plan to get rid of me, because you know what? Pay attention to what your little friends say. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Women know a good man when they see him, especially when they belong to their friend. You know?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh, TV.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Oh.
No more ditties. 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 You know what I mean?
That was something. I
It's
seen it.
true.
I seen it.
It's true.
I'm not gonna say I've been there. God
But it's
forbid.
true. But they know a
None of
good
my homies
man.
would never do me like that, but I done seen it.
You'd be surprised and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
No,
know.
you want it.
You know.
I think once you've seen different type of relationship structures, I feel like you start to open up your mind to the possibility of never saying, "Oh, my man would never do that to me." Like I would never say no dumb stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Once you see different types of relationship models, that's how you set your relationship standards, and that's how you decide what type of person you're looking for, how they carry themselves, everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to knowing what's out there, knowing what you want for you. Like, you might not want the type of relationship your parents had, or the type you might like what your aunt and uncle had because they was
Well,
cool,
you know.
they seemed like best friends or whatever the case is. But
I know there was times I woke up and
Yeah,
I
you
said,
gotta know. You
I would
gotta
say
know
to
what you
myself,
want first of all.
where's my love at?
You gotta
You
know
know what I'm
what you
saying?
want.
You know, I say that sometimes. Where my love at? And shit.
Mhm.
I'm looking for Miss Wonderful and shit.
and then what happened?
You know what I mean? I found her. When I was out looking for her, she was looking for me too.
Period. See,
You know what I'm
and that's
saying?
on alignment. And I think
You know?
we could send them home right
Shit.
there.
And that's on intention.
All right, we
Yeah.
all looking for that one. We not.
There you go.
The ratio is off, granted,
Yeah.
but I think when your one is out there, you don't miss them first of all, and it's just like you got to think a little different to find your one, or you and your one got to think the same. That's it.
Mhm.
You got to think the same. What go for you got to be the same for your person, and it don't even got to be the same, but you got to be willing to see that sometimes.
Yeah.
So
They love that.
what we
On
gonna
the
say,
same
and that's on
page.
alignment.
All right, y'all.
That's just my opinion. In my opinion.
All right, I'm gonna let y'all close the show out.
Oh
Close it out,
man,
Close it out.
It was a long one, you
Boy.
guys, but we
I feel like we just gave a little thesis in
Sermon.
here. What time is it?
like 9 o'clock,
Almost
8:55.
9. Almost 9 o'clock.
8:55.
Had to stay after school tonight, but that was really good.
It was good.
Great
It was
combo.
Kind of like detention.
Always
right?
a pleasure. We ain't in no trouble. So. But yes, that was great. I'm gonna go home and think about this and gather more thoughts. And you know, I feel like one of my big things lately has also been like you should change your mind when you gather new information. So if I had one standard before, after this, I might think about it and be like, okay, well, maybe I might adjust that pin a little bit. I feel like we should do that. That's just maturity and evolution. But at the end of the day, do what you want.
Yeah. Stay blessed. Stay not toxic.
Stay blessed. Yeah.
Keep your standards high.
Keep your standards high. Set some standards. Start there. Start with setting some. And then take it from there. But have your qualifiers and see how they pan out. This has been In My Opinion with Amazing Amy and
Victoria Paris.
and
Fat Boy Fresh.
period. We'll see y'all next